आज के मीटिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं विद द फर्स्ट आइटम of the agenda, that is to read and confirm the minutes of the last special general body meeting which was conducted on 1st of February 2026. उसके मिनट्स हम लोगों ने सब आप लोगों के बीच में सर्कुलेट किया था, आप लोगों ने पढ़ा भी होगा। तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कोई इसको 1 by 1 उसके एक पॉइंट्स के ऊपर जाके हम उस पर डिस्कशन करें, तो मैं आगे बढ़ सकता हूँ। तो प्रोपोजर एंड सेकेंडर में एक एक नाम दे दीजिए प्लीज। एज द प्रोपोजर हु इज रेजिंग हिज हैंड, एक कोई अपना नाम दे दीजिए। प्रोपोजर बता दीजिए कि ही वांट्स टू बी द प्रोपोजर। आइटम नंबर 5 ले लेता हूँ, फिर इसके बाद हम लोग सेकंड, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ के ऊपर जाएंगे। उसमें ये है टू रेटिफाई एंड अप्रूव द फॉलोइंग ट्रांसफर ट्रांसमिशन प्रपोजल एक्सेप्टेड बाय मैनेजिंग कमेटी। स्टॉक नंबर 24 है, इसमें फ्रॉम मिस्टर इंदर के हैंड एंड मिस्टर अनिल के हैंड जो अभी नहीं हैं, उनकी जगह पे उनकी वाइफ, दोनों जन की वाइफ को रिलीज डीड के थ्रू लीगल एयर्स बनाया गया है और इसको एडवोकेट ने रिकमेंड किया है और उन्होंने ओपिनियन किया है कि इनका पास कर सकते हैं। सिमिलरली ऐसा ही केस है A303, इसमें मिस्टर अक्षय मेहता अपनी वाइफ को गिफ्ट दे रहे हैं 50% का, वो भी एडवोकेट ने उसको पास किया था और अभी जनरल बॉडी में इसको पास करना है। तो किसी का कोई ऑब्जेक्शन तो नहीं है ना, तो हम लोग पास करके आगे बढ़े। प्रपोजल एंड सेकेंडर में 2 नाम दे दीजिए। आए हैं उनको कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस, सोसाइटी के मेंबर आप बन गए हैं, ठीक है। आप लोग से रिक्वेस्ट है, देखिए जो मीटिंग कर रहे हैं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग है, इसमें हमें प्रॉपर वे में, डिसेंट वे में अपनी चीज़ों को प्रेजेंट करना है। किसी को कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, ग्रीवेंस है, एक पोलाइट वे, नाइस वे अपने चीज़ों को प्रेजेंट कीजिए। कोई शोर शराबा, आर्ग्यूमेंट, चिल्लर चीज़ें वो सब मुझे और किसी को भी जनरल बॉडी में पसंद नहीं है। तो अपनी चीज़ों को अच्छे ढंग से प्रेजेंट कीजिएगा। जो ऐसा रूडली बिहेवियर करेगा वो फिर मीटिंग में बैठ नहीं पाएगा। आप लोग अच्छी तरह से याद होगा, लास्ट टाइम डी के ऊपर हम लोगों ने चर्चा किया था, उसमें मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स क्लियर हो गए थे एक्सेप्ट फॉर 1 पॉइंट, जिसको मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा हमारे सैनियर सर को कि लीगल एंगल से, सब एंगल से वो पॉइंट को एलोबरेट करें, आपको समझाएं। फिर आप लोगों का कोई क्वेश्चन ऐसा होगा तो आप लोग मुझसे पूछिए। सर प्लीज आइए।
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन।
हिंदी बोलिए, मेरे ख्याल से सबके लिए सूटेबल होगा।
ठीक है। आज आपका जो जनरल बॉडी मीटिंग है उसका सबसे मेन एजेंडा है नंबर 2, डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट और पावर को जो आपको अप्रूव करना है। डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट और पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी आपका काफ़ी करेक्शंस के थ्रू जा चुका है। मेंबर्स का सजेशन आया था, मैंने करेक्ट किया है, पीएमसी साहब ने भी करेक्ट किया है। लास्ट एंड फाइनल एक ही चीज है आज जो मेन डिस्कशन के लिए आपके सामने हम लोग आए हैं। डीए और पावर दोनों कंफर्म होके, पावर में तो कुछ है नहीं, बेसिक टेक्निकल पॉइंट्स और कनेक्शन कर दिए। डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट का मेन पॉइंट है आज, जिसके लिए आज हम आपके पास आए हैं। अभी बिल्डर्स आपके आएंगे। ये पॉइंट वही है जो अलग से बिल्डिंग बांध के लीज देने की बात चल रही है। लास्ट मीटिंग में आपको याद होगा तो मैंने कहा था रिगार्डिंग सब डिविजन रजिस्ट्रेशन वगैरह। अभी बिल्डर साहब का प्रपोजल ये आया है कि आप मुझे उस प्लॉट का लीज दे दीजिए, लीज रजिस्टर होगा, इट विल बी अ परपेचुअल लीज। लीज में उन्होंने अपने ऊपर काफी सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस डाल दिए। वो असाइन नहीं होगा किसी और को, लैंड मॉर्गेज नहीं होगा, वो जो इंडिविजुअल यूनिट्स है वो बेच सकते हैं, ऊपर का यूनिट्स मॉर्गेज कर सकते हैं। आपका बिल्डिंग जब भी रीडेवलप होगा वो इंटरफेयर नहीं करेंगे, वो एफएसआई आपका है, आपको जो यूज करना है कर सकते हैं। प्लॉट सब डिवाइड नहीं होगा। अभी एक और चीज उन्होंने बोला है जो क्लैरिटी मुझे चाहिए आने के बाद कि पीआर कार्ड पे भी नाम नहीं चढ़ेगा, ये उन्होंने बोला लिख के ले लो, मैं जाने वाला नहीं हूँ। अभी ये कंटेंशियस पॉइंट क्यों है आपको ये समझना जरूरी है। ये पूरी जो कमर्शियल बिल्डिंग है आपके हिसाब, बिल्डर साहब के हिसाब से ये किसी एक ही एंटिटी को जाएगा, या तो वो खुद आएंगे ऑफिस बनाने, या किसी बैंक को देंगे, या XYZ। अब सोसाइटी बनाने के लिए मुझे कम से कम 5 लोग चाहिए। अगर वो 5 फ्लैट नहीं बेच रहे वहाँ पे, या 5 यूनिट्स नहीं बेच रहे अलग अलग काम से, बट ऑफ कोर्स, तो वहाँ पे सोसाइटी नहीं बन पाएगी। अब सोसाइटी नहीं बनेगी तो उनका सवाल ये है कि कल मेरा बिल्डिंग अगर गिर गया या रिपेयर करना है, मेरे पास तो वोटिंग राइट नहीं है, मैं अकेला ही हूँ पूरे बिल्डिंग के लिए, और आप लोग ने कहीं और कुछ डिसीजन ले लिया तो क्या। अभी इट्स अ वेरी थिन वॉकिंग लाइन। अभी इस ब्रिज को डिवाइड करने के लिए ये लीज का ऑप्शन उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया है। अगर लीज देना भी पड़ा उनको, जैसे अभी उनका प्रपोजल है, तो एज अ सोसाइटी हमको ये समझना है कि हमारी लायबिलिटीज क्या है और क्या प्रोज एंड कॉन्स होगा। तो अभी उन्होंने जो रेस्ट्रिक्शंस डाले हैं कि आप अपना बिल्डिंग रीडेवलप करिए, अपना प्लॉट रीडेवलप करिए, प्लॉट सब डिवाइड नहीं होगा, प्लॉट मॉर्गेज नहीं होगा, पीआर कार्ड पे वो नाम नहीं चढ़ाएंगे। तो उनका बेसिक आइडिया एक ही है कि अगर मेरे बिल्डिंग को कुछ हुआ, रिपेयर्स करना है, मेंटेनेंस करना है, रीडेवलप भी करना है, अगर उन्हीं के पोर्शन का, उनको सिर्फ उस राइट के लिए आज ये लीज की बात हो रही है। वरना अगर वो बेच नहीं पाए या अगर खुद भी रख दिया तो उनका वोटिंग राइट एक ही होगा, क्योंकि आप मेंबर्स बाय मेजॉरिटी हैं, सेल के लोग भी आएंगे, पर उनका तो वोटिंग राइट एक ही होगा, क्योंकि पूरा बिल्डिंग एक ही नाम पे जा रहा है, कंपनी या एलएलपी के नाम पर। एक और चीज उन्होंने बोला है कि मुझे सोसाइटी का मेंबर मत बनाइए, आप अपना देख लीजिए, आई विल बी अ सेपरेट एंटिटी, मेरी बिल्डिंग में मैनेज कर लूंगा। अभी ये सब प्रोज एंड कॉन्स इवैल्यूएट करते हुए आज डिसीजन हमको यही लेना है कि करना क्या है। वहाँ पे सोसाइटी नहीं बन सकती, दैट इज फॉर श्योर। 5 से ज्यादा एग्रीमेंट बनने वाले नहीं है, एक ही कंपनी को जाएगी, या तो वो खुद या कोई बैंक या थर्ड पार्टी जिसको देंगे। तो ये थिन डिवाइडिंग लाइन है जिसके ऊपर आज डिस्कशन हो रहा है। तो आपको डाउट्स कुछ पूछना है या बताना है, डिस्कस करना है तो बोलिए, बिल्डर्स काफी आते रहेंगे। वी नीड टू फाइंड अ सोल्यूशन टुडे। सॉरी। that's right. मैडम पूछ रहे लीज के बारे में, आप थोड़ा और बता सकते हैं क्या elaborately? See, there are 4 or 5 things, madam. The lease, why he is asking is, as I told you, the building that he is constructing for sale, the commercial one will be one building, which either goes to him because he is forming an IPO. Once the IPO comes into the market, he may come into this building as an entire entity, or he may sell it to someone as an entire building. Now, to form a society, I need minimum 5 members. If the entire building goes to a registered body, there are no 5 members, I can't form a society. Now, his apprehension is, if I need to go to the market to sell this building, what do I tell them? That entity owning the building has got no rights in the land. For every small reason, they will have to rely on you as members of the society. Owner of the plot is the society. For every Tom, Dick and Harry reason, he has to come to you. And the main point, which I agree, one point what he says is right, he will have no say. आपने majority से ना बोल दिया, he will not be able to do anything there. His building will be stranded. The plot, building is on the plot. Plot is owned by the society. Majority members are here. Sale people will also come in as members of New Moonlight. But this gentleman or company, even if he comes into the society as one single building, entire owner, he will get only one voting rights. So his request is, what do I do with the building? I can't repair, I can't renovate, I can't do anything. For every reason, I have to come back on you.
What I meant to ask is, how many years is the proposed lease agreement?
It will be a perpetual grant, 99 years or 99 years maximum. It's going to be a permanent lease. Renewing it every year, there is stamp duty differences, so he'll do it in one shot, post completion of the building, not now.
And we will pass on some rental allowance to the building
No,
for that lease.
no. The compensation that you get is redevelopment. What he's giving you right now, in terms of rent, copper, shifting, extra area, that is the compensation. There will be no separate compensation in the lease.
And has he given in writing that he will not, he is saying that it will be one entity?
That's going to be part of the DA and the lease. Today, the DA is a draft. Once all agree, this is going to come capturing there. Do's and don'ts.
If the property is sale on lease, okay, the rest of the flats or the options that we have, in future if somebody wants to sell it off, will there be an impact that, oh, there is a lease on the property, one of the buildings, so it cannot be sold off?
No, there's no impact there. Your structures are in a different building. This entire building commercial is a different entity. The lease that we are giving, in your lease deed there will be a diagram where the markings would be done. There will be no physical subdivision. So for sale or mortgage, this does not hamper that, don't worry.
So but the front building which is there, so which is what we are talking about, and our shops on the ground floor, right?
I don't know.
Shops? All the shops are there. In fact, first floor also the shop is there. उनके building में shop है. The front facing facing है. Front facing building तो ये है.
अपना तो 11 शॉप्स हैं नीचे वही है, बाकी तो सब ऊपर जा रहा है।
तो शॉप ग्राउंड फ्लोर के शॉप वही बिल्डिंग में आ रहे हैं ना. So ग्राउंड फ्लोर के शॉप्स, आपके फर्स्ट फ्लोर के शॉप्स उधर ही आ रहे हैं, उनकी बिल्डिंग में आ रहे हैं. How can they happen?
I will give a trust.
सर करंट प्लान जो इन्होंने बनाया है ना, इसमें ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे सारे रिहैब की यूनिट्स है और सेल यूनिट या फिर इनका जो डेवलपर का जो एरिया है दैट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट और सेकंड फ्लोर. सो टेक्निकली हाउ विल यू लीज द एरिया ऑन लैंड जिसमें उसका यही ग्राउंड फ्लोर इज टेक्निकली और सोसाइटी मेंबर्स और लीगली हाउ विल यू डू दैट?
फर्स्ट फ्लोर आपकी फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे है ना. फर्स्ट ग्राउंड में सर फर्स्ट ग्राउंड में फेसिंग है. तो हमारे पे मतलब एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है, बाकी सब टेनेंट्स एक साइड पे है, जो जिन्होंने कमर्शियल कंस्ट्रक्ट किया वो सब एक साइड पे है, व्हिच इज व्हाट इज आवर बिल्डिंग वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. बट द अदर बिल्डिंग व्हिच इज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फॉर हिम हैज आवर बिल्डिंग ऑल्सो.
Sir, I have a question. Please pardon my voice. Yeah. So, firstly, कोई भी जन को 30 साल के ऊपर का लीज जाता है, it's as considered as sale only. We are selling our land for free. एकदम सिंपल भाषा में लीगली हम डॉक्यूमेंट में उसको कन्विंस करने के लिए कैसा भी डाल दें फीस, but as good as we are selling, and the rent we are getting is 1 rupees per year, is as good as free. हमें कुछ फायदा नहीं मिल रहा है। सानिया सर ने एक बात समझाई कि जो बेनिफिट हमें मिल रहा है वो रीडेवलपमेंट सोसाइटी, वो तो रीडेवलपमेंट में ऐसे ही होता है, कोई भी स्टैंडर्ड प्रैक्टिस में लीज नहीं होता। ये प्रैक्टिस में क्यों है सर? अगर है तो कांट वी फाइंड सम अदर वे के उनका बिल्डिंग बन जाने दो, फिर हम एक अग्रीमेंट करते हैं जिसमें हम उनका मेंटेनेंस यूटिलिटी जो उनको डाउट है कि बार बार सोसाइटी को पूछना पड़ेगा, तो सोसाइटी हम उनको पावर ऑफ दे दे कि आप अपना मेंटेनेंस खुद करो।
तो ऐसा ही है।
हाँ, मतलब एक बार यूनिट बन जाए तो दैट कुड बी अ सॉल्यूशन। अगर वो एक ही यूनिट को बेच रहे हैं तो हम उस एक यूनिट एक एंटिटी को एक पावर दे दें कि आपकी जितनी जगह है उसका मेंटेनेंस आप देख लो।
देखिए दो चीज है, जैसे अभी आपने बोला रीडेवलपमेंट जनरली होता है, जनरल रीडेवलपमेंट में ऐसा कोई इंडिपेंडेंट स्ट्रक्चर कंप्लीटली नहीं आता बिल्डर का, जैसे उन्होंने अभी प्रपोज किया है। मिक्स एंड मैच रहते हैं जहाँ पे आप लोग भी हो, आप लोग ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे हो,
सोसाइटी ऐसे ही होता है।
एंटायर बिल्डिंग बिलोंग्स टू द
सर एंटायर बिल्डिंग सेलेक्ट होता है।
Here he is not selling, वो अपने एक एंटिटी को देना चाहता है। आप पहले उनका कमर्शियल प्रपोजल समझिए। He is not going to sell it to different people. 99% what he has informed, what I know, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला IPO फॉर्म कर रहे हैं, he wants to form a entire, वो अभी गोरेगांव जहाँ उनका ऑफिस है, he wants to have the entire setup in one building. 99% he is going to come in as an entire company owning the building, PCBL. Or if not 1% chances are there, he may give it to one entity, पूरा जो ऊपर का है, in one name. अभी यही प्रॉब्लम है, here he comes.
Good morning.
Hot seat में बेसिक जाओ, class में। तो this is the issue regarding this separate building. अभी I think the best just to answer the question, sir, please guys चालू है, people have a lot of issues. आप थोड़ा सा see, he has spoken about the lease as Professor माइक उधर है, माइक उनके पास है। ये नहीं सुना था प्रकाश भाई
माइक चालू करना, कहाँ गया?
माइक की जरूरत ही नहीं प्रकाश भाई, एक्चुअली ऐसे ही बड़ा भाई का आवाज से पड़ रहा है।
See, I've informed them about the lease. Now the question that they are asking is, of course this will be perpetual, but why is Pranav bhai even initiating this? Because there will be shops in the ground floor who will be members of the society. So it's not that Pranav bhai is whole and soul in that building. Now this point, when there are members there, how does the lease go? That is the only question they are asking.
So when it comes to the lease is for the rights in the property. When tomorrow, if we have to go for redevelopment again after say 20-30 years again, in the lease deed there would be clauses mentioned that these people have to come with the society only and they cannot do independent stuff. So when it comes to the society's redevelopment affairs, it's going to be a joint decision only. It's not going to be singular. It is going to be in tandem with the person who is going to be granted the lease. When it comes to the daily running and the daily operations, it is going to be very difficult for the society to manage if one entity is using an entire 1 lakh square feet, managing the lifts, managing the electricity, managing the assessment tax. It's very tedious for a society to manage one user of 1 lakh square feet. You know, so you imagine the number of staircases and the number of elevators which are going to be operated by this user, and a cooperative housing society having so many members managing that is practically not possible. So this is the main reason why this lease has been proposed.
So again, one more question.
Please go ahead.
Is, say, out the shops which are on the ground floor is also already on the leased building.
No, see, let me just make this clear that the land below that building is not being leased. It is not that we are demarcating that this land has been leased. There is never going to be a subdivision, never. There is never going to be that this is your property and this is my property. Like how in a flat, if a joint ownership is there between a brother and a sister in a flat, we don't demarcate the kitchen between 50% of this person and 50% of this person. The flat is a flat. Similarly, the land is going to be
is always going to be owned by the society. A portion of the land, the lessee has a right over it. It's not demarcated. So though the ground floor and the first floor of that portion has members of Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society, it is only the rest of the portion of the building and proportionate rights undivided in the land has been leased.
There will be no subdivision.
There will never be a subdivision.
No mortgage of that portion of the
No mortgage of that portion.
Society can independently redevelop its plot in future. Supposing if you disagree, your portion of the built-up area will be excluded.
It is one structure only. It is
Once we give a lease, you have to take up
It is one structure only, and the lease holder will always consent to the development and the general affairs of the overall plot. Necessary clauses can be added in the lease deed.
तो वही प्रॉब्लम आएगा हमको रिडेवलपमेंट करना है तो उनको पूछना पड़ेगा
नहीं पूछना पड़ेगा, वो क्लॉजेस आप पहले ही डाल दो. लीज डीड में आप पहले ही डाल दो कि वो एग्री करेंगे. For the redevelopment and the rebuilding of the structure, the society's majority will hold.
Now only one question comes up which I came to know today. The members are saying that in your building there will be members of the society now. How do you do that? Because I'll tell you why. In any structure of your lease portion, if there is a member of the society, then society is answerable to that member. Bill receipts, correspondence will go. How do they levy maintenance for that structure?
No, so see, one thing has to be made clear, the ground floor shops are accessed on the road. Okay? The sale building is accessed through a separate lobby on the ground floor, which takes you up to the upper floors.
But then how do I levy maintenance? They are my members.
So
But they are part of your building.
It is independent. You see, inside of the building of the sale component, that is the lift, the elevator, the light, the assessment, that is going to be managed by the lessee.
So they will be paying you. The shops on the ground floor are my members.
No. They are always going to be members of Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society.
But without
only.
paying me, who are they going to pay the maintenance
They
to?
are going to pay the maintenance to Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society only.
But how do they levy maintenance when they are in your building?
They are not. They have to be independently maintained only. Now, why? See, what the maintenance of the same building is the lobby and the upper floors above that. The rest of the portion, see, in this, the common area lighting and the common area maintenance is going to be shared. Apart from that, everything is independent. Your assessment is also independent. Only your common area, that is your parkings and your ground floor common driveways and your light and your maintenance of housekeeping. That is the only thing what is going to be shared between the new lessee and Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society. Whereas everything is going to be independent.
So they will be paying two parts, one to the society, one to you.
No. The lessee will be paying to Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society.
By collecting it from them.
No. Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society is going to run its own affairs. It's only who is going to maintain the electricity of the common driveway of the basement and who is going to the housekeeping. Whoever is in the housekeeping, if it is a lessee or if it is Moonlight Cooperative Housing Society, they will collect it from each other and pay.
So it will be on pro rata basis.
On pro rata basis. On pro rata basis for the common areas. Only maintenance.
Now there will be a slight problem because every society charges sinking fund, building repair fund. Now part of my members are there. How do I levy sinking fund?
So see, part of the members are there. See, we are
They won't pay for my
two different structures. Actually, truly speaking, the entire thing is just one structure.
Agree, but this billing so will be a problem. So you understand my problem. If they are my members, I'm raising a bill. If they are not paying me, how do I say they are my members? They are in the
They
neighboring
will
building.
be paying you. How are they not going to pay you?
But how do I raise a bill for sinking fund, building repair fund for my building? See, your structure is independent. I am not maintaining, managing the building as you just
It
said.
is for maintenance purposes that my building is going to be maintained. And I am going to be maintaining it.
Whom are they going to pay the property tax, water bills,
Property taxes,
consequences,
anyway, is going to be,
etc.?
property taxes anyway is going to be independent.
They pay directly to BMC.
They pay directly to BMC. Water is directly to the BMC because the meter is different.
And common maintenance.
Common maintenance is shared. Common
Who will
maintenance.
be raising a bill to them? These people who are in your building, shops. Society raises a bill, builder raises a bill.
So what will happen is Moonlight Cooperative Society can raise a bill to me also.
But then you will also be paying sinking fund, building repair.
Not sinking fund, but maintenance, yes.
But what about the sinking fund, building repair fund for those? Because I can't charge them for my building. See, I'll tell you what.
See, there is no separate building. Especially in those separate buildings, they are going to be charged the sinking fund bill.
Agreed. See, but the problem here is sinking fund, basic repair fund is charged as per the age of the building, based on the architect certificate. 40 years तक ये चलेगा, etc. I can't bill them for this building, they are not here. The moment I charge them for that building, they'll say, sir, this is not yours, there's an entity over here. This is the problem which members are asking.
See, the thing is that conceptually you all are
You got the
imagining,
point.
you are imagining that entire building is leased. That entire building is not leased. You see that only a small portion of the ground floor, that is the lobby, and the upper floors which are habitable, that is the only leased portion. The rest of the portion is not leased.
These, not so these are right, everything on top.
That is what the thing is. You are imagining the land below your building is leased. That is not the case.
So we can't lease the structures, it's not constructed.
You are doing it anyways after the occupation certificate is
So
received.
you don't want the lease rights in the land.
No. The lease is going to happen once the occupation certificate is received.
Land man lease nothing.
That is
No,
not
land.
clear. That is not clear in the development
No,
agreement.
land.
We are going to put this condition in the DA.
That is not clear.
It's not there here, that's why we are discussing. Once it's agreed, we'll put it up in the DA.
There is going to be proportionate lease of land in the lease deed which is going to be executed after the occupation certificate is received.
So land is going to be there.
There is going to be a lease of land, a proportionate which is not going to be demarcated. It is not going to be that ये building के नीचे का जो land है, ये building के नीचे का land lease होने वाला ऐसा नहीं है. ये पूरा 100 square meters है, 100 square meters में 20 square meters, example numbers is just as an example, there is a right of 20 square meters. It is not that this portion is leased.
How do you differentiate between constructed portion and land? As a layman, repairs, he'll be repairing his own building.
ग्राउंड फ्लोर के स्ट्रक्चर पे कॉलम खराब हुआ ऊपर स्ट्रक्चर
साभी रिपेयर, वो बिल्डिंग को साभी रिपेयर करना है, that's what he's saying. Or do you want a society? See, this is the catch, that's what members are asking. How do you raise a bill?
Anything to do with the ground floor shops is going to be maintained by the society. If there is structural repairs required on that premises, you can put the onus on me. I'm okay to do that structural.
रिपेयर साभी करेंगे.
For that structure, put it in the lease deed.
Sir, over the years, your enterprises, new people will come. Our shop owner will, new people will come. How will we?
Entry exit is completely different. See, you are.
See, I am not talking about entry exit. Legal matters. How will we define all this? Clarification. Each and every point cannot be clarified in the. ये सब structural repairing. How will we define this? आपका new generation आएगा, हमारी shop में नया generation आएगा.
When the occupation certificate of the building is received, after that a lease deed has to be executed. In the lease deed, all these matters is going to be specified.
बनने के बाद आपने भी लीज दिया है, बनने के बाद
पार्टी रहेंगी.
Ball is in your court, आप समझो तो सही. आप वापस आओगे उसी के बाद, तब तक ड्राफ्ट रेडी होगा. देना तो उसी के बाद है.
सर बनने के बाद तो वी नॉट इन पार्टी तो लीज
Society will be-
ड्राफ्ट विल बी गिवन टू यू. हम उसी तक बोल रहे हैं, अभी तो प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ है.
हैंडओवर करने के बाद ठीक है.
जब आप वापस आ जाएंगे उसी आगे आपकी टेंशन खत्म कि आप बिल्डिंग बन गया मतलब है, उसके बाद लीज देना है.
So now when he's talking about the common area, the expense part, we shared between who?
Between the lessee and the society.
Society. तो वो part का everyone will be sharing.
Any which is
Or only the ground floor shops?
No. Everyone will be sharing it because everyone is going to use the driveway. Everyone is going to use the light in the driveway. And everyone wants their society clean, so there's going to be housekeeping. So those common things are going to be shared
That is divided as per the members of the as per the square feet.
as per the square feet.
ग्राउंड फ्लोर का शॉप अपने इसमें आएगा
नहीं आएगा.
એ છે ને કીધું કે લકીને આવશે આટલા જગ્યા મારું નથી છે ઉપરનું છે સ્ટ્રક્ચર.
आपका ऑफिस जो है इतना ही लिस्ट में आएगा, बाकी नहीं.
चलिए सर, एक पॉइंट है. आज हमारा मूनलाइट लैंड है. जब भी आगे कोई भी फ्लैट ओनर या शॉप ओनर जो दूसरे बी विंग में वो सेल करेगा, आज
की डेट में हम फ्री होल्ड लैंड लिखते हैं, आवर प्रॉपर्टी इज सिचुएटेड ऑन फ्री होल्ड लैंड। फ्यूचर में हम लोग क्या लिखेंगे? आप
It will always be a freehold land.
we will be on leasehold land or freehold?
See, land is always free. Land में कोई आपका encumbrance नहीं है. When you say freehold land, that means ये आपके ownership का है. Land अभी भी आप ही का है. Land कहीं नहीं जा रहा. Land remains freehold, but with a clause कि इतना जो portion ऊपर का है, जो अभी साहब ने बोला, XYZ square meters, वो constructed portion उनको lease पे है. अभी वो खुद आया है किसी और कंपनी को दे, that is his privilege. But उन्होंने जो ifs and buts डाला है कि भाई I won't subdivide, मैं mortgage नहीं करूँगा land. This is the only thing that is a solution to the society.
सर क्लैरिटी ये चाहिए कि फ्री होल्ड लैंड है या लीज लैंड?
आपका land is freehold. आपका land is freehold. आप पूरे plot का owner हो, including this lease that you're giving.
प्लॉट इज फ्री होल्ड लैंड।
Free entire plot is freehold land. Freehold का मतलब क्या हुआ? आप owner हो. Owner आज भी हो, 50 साल के बाद भी आप ही owner हो. आप एक छोटा सा पोर्शन जो यहाँ पे इनकी बिल्डिंग खड़ी हो उसमें एक राइट उनको दे रहे हो. तो लैंड इज फ्री होल्ड. कोई मॉर्गेज नहीं हो रहा, सेल नहीं हो रहा.
जिस लैंड पे उनकी बिल्डिंग बन रही है, that is also
सोसाइटी PR कार्ड इज इन योर नेम.
units that are being
कंपनी के नाम पे रखूं और कल को कुछ रिपेयर रेनोवेशन कुछ भी आए यार तो रिलाई ऑन यू, क्योंकि मेजॉरिटी वोट आपके पास है. इनका तो एक ही वोटिंग राइट है पूरे बिल्डिंग का. हाउ डू यू ब्रिज दिस गैप? मैं अभी फोरम को ओपन छोड़ रहा हूं. आप लोग सोचे नहीं हो सकता हो. आप एक ही बार सोचो, पूरी बिल्डिंग एक कंपनी के नाम पे है, वो आपका एक मेंबर बना हुआ है और बाकी 60 लोग एक तरफ बैठे हैं. ही हैज टू रिलाई ऑन यू लाइफ लॉन्ग देयर. वो वही बोले मुझे सिर्फ यूनिट्स का राइट दो ताकि मेरा आगे का यूनिट्स का राइट हो सके. उसी गैप को ब्रिज कर रहे हैं.
Can be something called differential voting rights.
See, differential voting rights is just a thought process. I'll tell you why. आपके एक मेंबर ने अभी मीटिंग स्टार्ट करने से पहले प्रपोज किया था रेजोल्यूशन का. आप जो भी आज रिजॉल्व करते हो, 2-3 महीने के बाद जनरल बॉडी आपकी इच्छा नलिफाइंग द रेजोल्यूशन इज अगेन बैक ऑन यू. माइनॉरिटी कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग. वो यही बोल रहे हैं कि रिलाइंग ऑन द जनरल बॉडी रेजोल्यूशन होता तो बात ही नहीं होती थी. You can what you do as a general body resolution is your call. आज आपने लीज दे दिया और आपको लगे कोई उल्लंघन हुआ, आप टर्मिनेट कर दो. पर तब तक तो रजिस्टर्ड एग्रीमेंट है ना उनके पास. Relying on a resolution and a registered agreement जमीन आसमान का फर्क आ गया. So that's what he's saying. आप मुझे कुछ तो राइट दे दो वहाँ पर. That's the reason he's putting up this point. Sir, sorry.
जो लास्ट में समझाया कि लैंड का राइट सोसाइटी के पास रहेगा,
Ownership.
और जो बिल्डिंग बनेगी उसमें लीज होगा.
Yes.
Now I just read out the para on page 65 of the DCA.
Mic है दोनों सर, mic. Mic please.
I appreciate what you are trying to say, but the language in the DA goes like this. The society shall assign grant a lease for undivided right, title and interest in the said land opportunity to wing be. So when you are saying about the structure, but the written language in the DA speaks something else.
सर दो चीज है. There are two things which we need to understand. Constructed portion को 100% आएगा. We can't avoid that. That is the saleable premises. Land जैसे अभी प्रणव मैंने बताया, land will be mentioned because a constructed premises is in a building which is constructed on land. मैप पे एक मैप आएगा आपके लीज में. A B C D ये बिल्डिंग आपको दिया गया रेड कलर बाउंड्री लाइन.
So Salil, I understand and appreciate the way or from where you are coming, and it is fine. I don't see any major gap in that. लेकिन जो सोसाइटी को अंडरस्टैंडिंग दी है वो थोड़ा क्लियर है.
सर
लैंड और स्ट्रक्चर दोनों की लीज हो रही है
to the extent of ratio of FSI consumed by BB. I said थोड़ा clarity दीजिए.
That's completely right what you are saying.
Yes, exactly.
There is going to be saleable FSI what is going to be consumed by me in that same building, and then there is the existing members who are holding some FSI. There is a ratio to that. In the same ratio, I am seeking rights of lease of building which is going to be occupied by the sale component and proportionate lease of land to the effect of whatever the ratio of FSI is. This is purely, again I am repeating myself, this is purely for sake of maintenance, that tomorrow if on the 10th floor in one staircase one tube light is gone, I don't need to come back to the society. Okay? If there is one user, he is, pumping in a considerable amount of money for the entire 1 lakh square feet of saleable area, so he would wish to have some rights in the land. All your concerns of how the building is going to be maintained, or who is going to, if there is a structural defect what is there and it needs to be repaired, all those concerns can be addressed in the lease deed.
I have another suggestion.
Yep.
If you can clarify how the future FSI will be consumed, probably the crowd here will be very, very clear. Because everybody is concerned whether we are selling the land.
Okay. When it comes to the future FSI, today whatever FSI is made available, 5.4 FSI is made available, and all of us are getting the benefits on that FSI. Tomorrow, if there is going to be incremental FSI, the same benefits will be transferred. Obviously, the person who is holding the lease of 1 lakh odd square feet will get a similar benefit of what the society is getting. So all the society and the lessee is going to be treated at par in future when the redevelopment happens.
Sorry to interrupt. You also give the clarity on assuming the lease is not done. Then how the FSI would have been shared? Probably that is where people will understand what is the proposal and what is the pros and cons.
So if the lease would have not been done, then assuming that this 1 lakh square feet of one user would become a member of the society. If he is a member of the society, then whatever benefits in future of redevelopment are there, it is as good as what is happening right now. I don't see any differentiation of whether he is a member of the society or whether the property is leased. The benefits which will be given to everyone 30 years down the line is going to be same. Yes.
As you mentioned, like for an example, you said that out of 100 meters, you are taking 20 meters as right. So that is a structural lease or a land lease?
Both.
So exactly. So the society land of 20 meters also belongs to the lessee.
It doesn't belong to the lessee. It belongs to the society leased to the lessee.
But you have the right to that 20 meters. So just my question is, if that 20 meters belongs to the lessee, and if say my shop or anybody else's shop falls in that 20 meters.
No, so that is where the differentiation is. You are not subdividing and saying that this tile is owned by me and this tile is owned by you. It is jointly held. There is no demarcation that this is yours and this is mine.
Correct. But then in future, if any of the members from that part of the leased land needs to say transfer the rights or sell that property, how would that take place?
Just like a normal transfer happens, you apply to the society, the supplier, the society will give its NOC and you will sell your property. The lessee has nothing to do with it.
But the land is already there, right?
Ma'am, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. It is not the land which is below wing B. You cannot identify that this land, you cannot point out your finger and demarcate that this land is my land. It's never going to be the
But
case.
the building that is leased out is on some portion of that land.
Which is jointly held.
So then both the lessee and the society would be responsible. I mean, that's all.
The shop owner is a member of the cooperative housing society. He is only liable to take an NOC from the society and deal with his property however he deems fit. He has nothing to do, no permission to be taken from the lessee. The lessee can't raise any objections to the same. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, but this is very confusing because on some cards we we are being told that the land is going to be proportionately leased, and then sometimes we are being told that it's going to be jointly held. So it's
Jointly held in the sense?
extremely, sorry, let me just finish. It is extremely confusing as to why that is, I mean, completely justified in terms of the concern for the maintenance, etc., etc. You don't want to go through all that hassle, but I'm sure there are various possible solutions rather than making it so complicated for the existing members.
So there were different various other options which were explored, okay, and jointly it was concluded that this is the best possible option of how to deal with this matter. There was another option in which the society would, this is the best possible option for the society. Why? Because if we make a different society, for example, if we make a different society for wing number P, we can make a different society. That society will run its affairs independently, but then Moonlight Corporate Housing Society may not be the complete owner of the land. That is why Mr. Saleh suggested that let Moonlight Corporate Housing Society always be the owner of the land and we lease the property to the proposed entity. Because if a different society is made, that is also an option which is there, that there is one society and two society, and then the society jointly can form another association and then the association holds the land. But in that case, Moonlight Corporate Housing Society is not the owner, the association is the owner. So for the benefit of the society, Mr. Saleh was hell-bent in saying that no, we cannot give land rights, let the land rights always vest with Moonlight Corporate Housing Society, the ownership.
Sir, about the land, there can be many confusions even in the future. जैसे आज ही हमको आधा एक घंटा लग रहा है इसको समझने के लिए, आपने ऑलमोस्ट 10 मिनट डिस्कशन किया इंटरनली. सो द पीपल हु वाज द लेमैन, वो सोसाइटी जो हैंडल कर रहा है और जो जिसको आपने लीज पे दिया है, अगर वो कोई चीज़ करने के लिए मना कर या इज़ नॉट फेवरिंग और नॉट सपोर्टिंग, तो कितना कन्फ्यूजन या कितना प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट हो सकता है.
सर एक तो आपका क्वेश्चन कि अगर वो रिफ्यूज करेगा, रिफ्यूज की बात ही नहीं आती. बिकॉज आप अगर मुझे एग्जाम्पल देंगे तो मैं
लेट्स से आफ्टर 50 इयर्स रीडेवलपमेंट की फिर से जरूरत पड़ी, अब बिल्डिंग तो एक ही है.
To that effect, this matter was already discussed and was already agreed between us that we will put clauses in the lease deed that the lessee, whoever it be, whether it be me or a new incoming person, will always abide by the resolution passed by the society for going for redevelopment. That can be part of the lease deed, predetermined right at the beginning only.
This vote will be counted as one vote as one member if it is given to the entire.
I am going one step forward. He is going to go ahead and accept the majority of the society.
Major concern is regarding the maintenance and day-to-day operations of the new building, right?
One of my major concerns, yes. See, the person who is coming in as one single user is spending 500 crores and coming in as one single user. So he would want that liberty to deal with his property, maintain his property. He would not want to come to the society for every small little matter and be at the mercy of the society for
day-to-day operations only, right?
one of the reasons is day-to-day operations, yes.
Apart from that, if there is any concern over that.
There is no other concern.
So can this be legally bounded by the framework of the lease deed that this is specifically for the day-to-day maintenance of the property?
It can be, yes.
That can be a part of it.
Yes, it can
This
be.
is specifically executed for the purpose of this thing, nothing apart from this gives the rights to the new incoming person, whoever it may be.
ये एक चीज है, I think we are missing the last one. आप एक चीज समझिए, अगर आप अलग सोसाइटी बनाने का सोच रहे हो तो पहले उसका प्रोज एंड कॉन्स समझिए. अलग बिल्डिंग में अलग सोसाइटी बनाने का मतलब है आई नीड मिनिमम 5 मेंबर्स. एज पर द लास्ट एनेक्टमेंट 5 लोग आगे सोसाइटी बन जाएगी. 5 लोग आने वाले ही नहीं है, एक का एक ही एंटिटी होगा या दूसरा भी कोई आए तो एक ही एंटिटी है, तो सोसाइटी बनने वाला नहीं है. इवन इफ ही सेल्स इट टू मोर देन 5, मेरा रिस्क फैक्टर है क्योंकि वहाँ पे सोसाइटी आगे वो लोग डीप कन्वेंस में कूद पड़ेंगे. See, I'm saying this on record. जब कोई भी सोसाइटी बनती है, this is all under MOFA, महाराष्ट्र ओनरशिप फ्लैट्स एक्ट.
आपने यूनिट्स ओनरशिप पे बेचे, सोसाइटी बना दी, तीसरा है डीम कन्वेंस। आज अगर वो लोग गए तो डिपार्टमेंट को ये नहीं है, मैं ओपनली बोल रहा हूँ आज, वी हैव सीन हंड्रेड्स ऑफ ऑर्डर्स व्हिच मेक नो सेंस, पर ऑर्डर है, फिर मुझे चैलेंज करते हुए नहीं बैठना है। सोसाइटी आपने अलग से बना दी उस बिल्डिंग की, वो प्लॉट परमानेंटली गया आपके हाथ से, मैं कम से कम वो ओनरशिप का राइट सेव कर रहा हूँ, मैं ओवरऑल एक्सप्रेस कर रहा हूँ। अभी 3-4 सवाल आए थे, इसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ। ये जो लीज का इशू है ना, अंडरस्टैंड दैट अगर आप नहीं भी दोगे तो हिज कंस्ट्रक्टेड पोर्शन इज मैक्सिमम, ये आप मानते हो? कंस्ट्रक्टेड पोर्शन उनका जो है मैक्सिमम वही रहने वाला है। लॉ भी अगर चेंज हुआ, आप लीज नहीं भी दोगे तो उनको जो बांध के देना वो देना ही है हमको। सो लीज आज जो प्रपोजल इनका आया है, टेक्निकली इट मेक्स नो सेंस टू अस। क्यों? आज इन्होंने जो कुछ भी बोला है, नो सब डिविजन, नो असाइनमेंट, नो मॉर्गेज, प्लस मेंटेनेंस का मेजर रिपेयर तुम्हारी बिल्डिंग। सो ही हैज बाउंड हिमसेल्फ। आगे अगर वो यूनिट किसी को बेचते हैं, यूनिट में कोई दूसरा लीज पे आता है, उसको ये सारे टर्म्स कंडीशंस लागू पड़ने वाले हैं। आप लीज बनाओ या नहीं बनाओ, भगवान ना करे अगर डिस्प्यूट होने वाला है, जैसे आपके एक मेंबर ने पूछा अभी पीछे कि डिस्प्यूट हो सकता है, जिसको प्रणव मैंने जगह दिया है, दैट डिस्प्यूट कैन हैपन विद एन एग्रीमेंट, विदाउट एन एग्रीमेंट। तो डिस्प्यूट इज एनीवेज, इट्स अ डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, उसमें क्या होने वाला आगे वो आप छोड़ दीजिए। डॉक्यूमेंट हो या नहीं हो, आने वाले के साथ डिस्प्यूट आपके मेंबर के साथ भी हो सकता है। जिसको प्रणव ये सेल का फ्लैट दे रहे हैं, मैं उनकी बात कर रहा हूँ। तो फॉरगेट व्हाई द डिस्प्यूट इज गोइंग टू हैपन। पर अगर आपके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट है जिसमें आपने इनको ही बांध के रखा है, तो आगे वाला उससे बन जाएगा। एटलीस्ट देयर इज सम बेसिक टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस। इसी का डिस्कशन हो रहा है। आपको जितना माइनस पॉइंट लग रहा है बनना, आप डिस्कस करिए। वी आर हियर टू डिस्कस। आज कोई फाइनलाइज बाद में करेंगे, पहले डिस्कशन है, ओपन फोरम है। तो इसके लिए डिस्कशन के लिए आप लोग पूरा पहले प्रपोजल समझ लीजिए प्लीज।
That can be part of the lease period specifically for this purpose.
Or if your issue is the maintenance, regular maintenance of your building, why can't we do it other way around? The society can give you some rights that will not interfere in your day-to-day business. Why you need a lease for that?
So the society is bound by the resolution that it's passed. It's today you are passing a resolution, tomorrow you might pass another resolution. So I don't want to be at the mercy of the society for the day-to-day affairs. My product will not sell because if the person sees that he doesn't have sufficient rights, he will not go and buy the property.
But even if it is in the agreement?
See, the society decides today is like simple. Today you have chosen A, B, C as the secretary, chairman and treasurer. Tomorrow you can change that. It is the majority of the society and the general body who is going to decide what is to be done with and deal with the property and deal with its members. So we are always at a question at what the society will do next.
No, like you are asking for 999 years. I can write for 999 years that I will not interfere in your day-to-day business.
So that can only happen if you give rights. You cannot say that I will not pass a resolution. That will not be right.
Not as a resolution, but as an agreement with the society that goes.
There's no. So tomorrow a general body will decide that this agreement is not binding by me.
So in that case, tomorrow general body will decide that is 999 years.
A lease cannot. Then for that, it's a registered document. What is done? You have to go back and register. What is the document you register?
Agreement between.
You give me an explanation of what is the agreement.
Perpetual resolution.
There's nothing as a perpetual resolution.
Make an MOU kind of a thing.
Pardon me?
Make an MOU.
It won't be valid. It can't be registered also.
If you never registered.
MOU is never seen. MOU is a memorandum of understanding. It doesn't give you rights. आप जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट है, आप लीज छोड़ दो, आपको जो उसका टर्मिनोलॉजी, लीव एंड लाइसेंस जो लिखना है लिख दो। अल्टीमेटली द टर्म्स आर द सेम। दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डिस्कसिंग हियर। जो टर्म्स आज आप नक्की करोगे, बिल्डर साहब ने बताया है कि वो टू राइट दैट, वो रजिस्टर इसके लिए होगा। कल को जैसे मैंने बोला है, आपने बोला, प्रणव भाई का कोई गलती हुआ, टर्मिनेशन का रीजन तो दोगे। You have to give some reason. We can't whimsically straight away terminate. How is the termination based? What is the default? That is the basis of this document. तो आप डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं बनाओगे तो कुछ लिखा पड़ी नहीं है, लेने वाला फिर आपके सर पे बैठेगा। Rather than that, bound it. आप इनको बांध लो, ये आगे जिसको देंगे वो ऑटोमेटिकली बंद रहेगा।
सर जितना भी पार्ट लीज वाला पार्ट है, उसका जो एक्सटर्नल कोई कॉस्ट आया, एक्सटर्नल रिपेयर, तो वो who is going to bear it? Society?
Again, obviously, if it is in my portion, if there's a structural repair or there's a facade which is there, it's about my knee, and you put that in the lease deed.
पर सर जब आप डिमार्केटिंग नहीं कर रहे हो,
And it is already mentioned in clause number 34, 35.1 E.
पर सर जब हम डिमार्केट नहीं कर रहे हैं वो पार्ट को, तो फिर आप कैसे
उसमें लैंड डिमार्केट नहीं करना।
हाँ ठीक है,
तो बिल्डिंग डिमार्केटेड है
और वो कहाँ डीए में आएगा?
ऑब्वियसली।
हाँ, और वो जो डीए में आएगा उसमें कैसे मतलब एग्जैक्टली विच प्रपोर्शन उसका आप एक्सपेंस आपका होगा?
सर एक तो फसाड देख लीजिए, अगर फसाड के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं तो फसाड जो मेरा प्रॉपर्टी है वो फसाड मेरा है, उसको मेंटेन करना मेरा जिम्मेदारी है।
ओके।
सोसाइटी के बिल्डिंग का रिपेयर सब कुछ साथ में साफ के सर पे डालना जो डालना है।
Is there any such example where anybody can understand visually?
Yes, there are examples, and if you want, my one of my attorneys has executed such deeds, and if you want, then by tomorrow day end, I will email those examples to you.
My recent experience in Mustamji and the society, that in similar case, it's a big law where Mustamji got in. Society people could not get what they were supposed to get. And in the end, Mustamji got the best benefit out of it. And now members are talking. So it's better we have such example wherein everybody is safe, you are safe. If
I will
we,
give you the example.
if we have a separate building, if this solves,
I
I
will
think
give
that
you-
is the best solution rather than going around the bush. You can come up and tell, I want to have a separate building wherein I am there and I will give you what everybody wants. Since long it's going on, what I can understand, it's better to have a separate building for society members, separate thing for you. It resolves everything. Now question arises, where does the frontage of the shop will go? I think this is the outcome I can come from. And would like to see a sample where such thing is done.
I will give the samples tomorrow. I'll email it across by day end tomorrow. Yes.
So just want to understand, we are assuming that the complete lease is going to be going to the one company. But what happens in some cases when they say he's not able to lease it to one company or probably he leases it to a number of more people? How does it be?
If I sell the premises to different individuals, I will become a member of Moonlight Corporate Housing Society.
Yeah, so then how this lease deal will be?
That lease doesn't arise. If I sell the premises to individuals, then those individuals become Moonlight Corporate Housing Society members, and the entire concept of lease is put aside.
More than 5 units then?
More than 5 units.
That can be conditioned to a part of the...
That can also be a condition. It's already part actually.
So that it will be not valid. This lease will...
Yeah. Any which ways the lease is going to happen subsequently once the occupation certificate is received. When the occupation certificate is received, if I have sold one floor, one unit, I become a member of a Moonlight Corporate Housing Society, and that comes to the end of it.
There is one question. The average life of a building in the present time is 30 to 50 years. This is my understanding. We may have different opinions. Why 999 years?
99 नहीं हो सकता, પછી रिन्यू करो, चलो 99 करो, गेट अप, एक लाइन निकाले और
नहीं, ये तो ऐसा हो गया है कि जैसे मैं साग भाजी खरीदने गया हूँ।
नहीं सर, आप अपने कलेक्टर डीएमसी एसएलए में भी जाओगे तो 40 इयर्स का लीज होने वाला है।
99 years का लीज साहब चलता था जब ब्रिटिश टाइम था तब।
आप अभी 40 का तो दोगे, उसके बाद रिन्यू ही करना अगर डिफॉल्ट नहीं हुआ तो वी आर आर्ग्यूइंग ऑन समथिंग व्हिच इज नॉट होगा।
मैंने इसीलिए तो कहा कि भाई
आप 40 इयर्स का भी अगर सर प्रपोज करते हो
Conceptually, it is a perpetual lease.
that is yes. perpetual lease.
Perpetually. So whether we do a 999 or do a 99, it is indifferent because in 99 only in case I default. The default is 1 rupees per year. If the default happens, and conditions. Only if a default happens, it will not someone will not be liable to renew the same.
अगर आपने 40 इयर्स का दिया है 999 डिफॉल्ट को आप टर्मिनेट कर सकते हो क्लॉज उसमें है तो टर्मिनेशन का डेमोक्रेटिक रहेगा
999
40 के बाद आप रिन्यू भी करने वाले का सर अगर डिफॉल्ट
MIDC ने भी दिया तो 999 कर दिया।
मैं वही बोल रहा हूं साहब अगर आप 40 इयर्स का भी देते हो एक्सपायरी के बाद रिन्यू भी करना है आपको अगर डिफॉल्ट नहीं हुआ तो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग
अच्छा मैं अदर क्वेश्चन है
99 करेगा प्रॉब्लम
सर, बट हमें अभी नहीं पता है कि what could be the future problems with the let's see. So what we can suggest is कि अगर हम एक और मैन निकालते हैं, example अगर 10 years का यूज करते हैं and if we don't have the problem with the continuance, so we can give ahead the lease.
You imagine a person who is investing 500 crores into a property, okay, and with the caveat that in 10 years his lease is expiring, he's never going to purchase the property, the project doesn't become viable.
हमारा लैंड भी आपको फ्री में कैसे देंगे
सर फ्री में नहीं
500 करोड़ हमारी लैंड भी बना रहे हैं ना आप बोलोगे हम 99 इयर्स का लीज दे दे तो लोगों के माइंड में ऐसा है लीज मतलब हमने बेच दिया ये क्लियर माइंड आपको क्वेश्चन अरेगा कि कोई कुछ भी कर रहा है मैं आपको डायरेक्ट दूंगा लोगों के माइंड में कैसा है सर अन्नपूर्णा जो पीछे बिल्डिंग है ना इट इज ऑलरेडी 999 इयर्स लीज so we are facing this problem right now okay again हमको यही प्रॉब्लम फेस करना है
So you cannot compare that problem.
Sir, you are saying because you are in this business.
No, I'm not in this business. Annapurna ka problem is a different problem. Annapurna ka problem is that the society was supposed to take the entire the conveyance and then lease it to the original developer. Now you all have not got the rights and your developer, ex-developer is also not there. That is why that Annapurna problem is a different problem. You cannot compare to this. Yes, when we are doing this redevelopment right now, all the benefits which are arising out of the current DCPR has already been passed on to the society. You imagine a situation, I will come back to the same argument what I had with sir, that if a new society is formed, if a different society is formed, then that society will have more rights over the land. You can't maintain the 1,25,000 square feet yourself, that you agree. The only way of doing it is that you give them independence. Giving them independence and still having right on the land is the solution what Mr. Salehin has suggested. If you allow me to make a different society, I am more than happy I'll make a different society and then that society will deal with the land however it wishes to. But that is diluting your rights.
Can I take sir's point ahead?
Yes, please.
Discussing with you.
Yes.
Supposing, as sir suggested, the average life of a building 40-50 years. Example, if we propose a lease of 40-50 years, will that do? In the sense, you will get to see the light of the next redevelopment. That's my proposal. હમણાં 40-50 કરીને બી નીચી તમારું ઉલ્લંઘન નથી થવાનું તો we are also not going to terminate. I suppose at least everyone is on the same page. आपके लीज का अगर कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट टर्म्स उल्लंघन नहीं हुआ तो हमको तो एक्सटेंड करने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. At least I need an answer from that. सर एक लाइफ 40-50 સુધી તમે રાખો પછી એક્સટેન્ડ કરો. They won't terminate without a default. That even you know. They are not fancy to terminate. एक वर्षમાં 50 yearsમાં તો next development આવી જશે.
Let us park this thought for now. Okay, let us park this. Let us park this. Let us solve all the problems. If a resolution is getting approved and we are going ahead, we'll consider.
Sir, consider the sir.
One more thing, we have discussed as what about the lease deed that will be signed after OC is received.
That's right.
After also.
Should that draft of that lease deed be
આવશે હમણાં આવશે આપણે ડીએ કરશું ને સર.
Yes.
ડીએ જો ડીએ પછી એને 9 મહિના છે આયોડી માટે.
હાજી.
Until the terms of the lease are not fully done by both the parties, agreed, finalized, lease sign નથી થવાનું. Lease તો sign 4 વર્ષ પછી થશે. Post the DA is going to work on both. એનું planning પણ છે, IOD પણ છે અને આપણી lease પણ છે. But understand one thing, until I don't give the lease.
At the time of approval of DA and members authorizing the signing of DA, the draft of the lease deed should also be finalized because lot of conditions will be there in the lease deed also.
But that won't be finalized before a month, sir. That's going to take time. 15-20 months हसे. When is it going to be done? When is it going to? तो DA पाचक कैसे नहीं सर? DA we are on the verge of finalizing the DA.
Because otherwise that is leaving something in vacuum as to what will be actually included in the
I'll go
lease.
one step ahead. I'm a member of the society today. I'm not a lawyer. As a member of the society, I'm happy that the lease deed is not signed. मारो तो commitment છે ને. Lease to terms क्या છે?
हमारा secondary, હું કહું છું draft of that finalized lease deed.
I agree, but sir, that won't be done before a month. એને 10 દિવસ લાગશે 15-20 month બનાવવા. He's going to put it here, corrections થશે. પાછું DA પાછળ જાય છે sir. He's running on time. Right now he's sitting on time and DA stamp duty પર પૂછે. He's ready with the stamp duty amount. તમે જે કીધું figure.
Sir, I think his concern is not dragging that lease deed till the end.
Sir,
भाई एक दो महीने में कर लो finish कर दो.
एक महीने वस्तु
मालूम पड़ जाना चाहिए कि lease deed में क्या
Plan आने क्यों? We are vacated. We are vacating. Construction is on. भगवान क्या करे? Sorry sir, I am not making the allegations. आपने નથી right police. Who's at a minus point? તમે એ તો સમજો DA sign up એને problem થશે. આપણે problem જ નથી.
Sir, I am absolutely with you. His query is कि the
Sir, this would but हमारा नहीं था sir. He is waiting for the DA. Our registration
no, he go ahead with the DA and lease deed.
I'm not saying no.
वो immediately कर लो ऐसा.
Sir, I am not saying no draft out से.
पार्ट्स तो डीए में भी आ रहे हैं ना,
वो तो draft डाल देंगे.
हम सब आ ही रहे, बाकी तो
हम
क्या है,
terms ना की दे सर.
उसका ड्राफ्ट बनाने में थोड़ा इसको वक्त लगेगा।
लीज डीड का जो है ना खाली
वो तब तक पढ़ लेंगे।
लीज डीड शुड बी फॉलोड एज पर योर
Basic terms नाक्सू DA में. That this will be the contents of the lease. वो बोल सकते हैं.
लीज डीड में अगर चेंज होते हैं तो सारे तो नहीं आने वाले हैं. अगर you have a reference of lease deed in the deed document.
मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ lease deed का reference डालो, but we can't finalize the document now. It's running on time.
पहली बात ये सब जो बात कर रहे हैं 40-50% समथिंग जो बोल रहे हैं लीज का ड्यूरेशन, तो
वो सोच के सर
बताएंगे। तो बाकी चीजों पे एग्रीबल है तो आगे
सर ऑन अ कंडीशन, जैसे भाविक भाई ने बोला, हम अपना एक मेजर प्रपोर्शन ऑफ लैंड इज एज गुड एज वी आर सेलिंग टू देम, अपार्ट फ्रॉम व्हाटएवर यू आर गेटिंग द लीज ईयर टू, बट देयर इज नो मेंशन ऑफ लीज प्रीमियम इन द अग्रीमेंट, देयर इज नो बेनिफिट्स टू द सोसाइटी, there is no nothing such as lease premium, it's only rent mentioned, or is it?
So, see, please try and understand that I am not earning any further revenue by taking this. Okay? I am more than happy if you allow me to form a different society. Since your legal advisors and the committee have do not want to dilute the rights of the society, that is why this lease has come up. If you give me cooperative housing society, different entity, I am more than happy.
But sir, that would be a consideration what you will need.
No. So by doing this transaction, there is no additional benefit that I am getting so that I can pass it on to you.
Sir, if there is a benefit, you are selling the whole premises to one entity.
With the revenue being same if I sell it to different individuals
But there is
also.
always a lease premium behind it, sir. If you are giving it on a lease, we are giving many rights to them. For the
What
coming,
rights are you giving?
the rights what you want.
Allow me to form a different society.
No, I'm talking about not a sale.
Don't give me lease. Don't give me lease.
We are talking about lease only right now.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so if you are talking about lease, I have to be on that topic.
Since you feel that I am earning additional revenue, I am trying to convey to you that I am not earning additional revenue. I am more than happy to have a different society form for my sale component also. I am happy. I am in fact more happy if that is happening.
And I suggest there has to be a lease premium. If that cannot be worked out, then it can be worked out with some other way around. But members should get the benefit if we are selling out land to in a different way.
See, there is one thing which we need to understand. Today, what we were discussing regarding sale by developers. आज अगर कोई बिल्डर ओनरशिप पे बेच रहा है, जगह तो ओनरशिप पे बेचेंगे. But the person who's buying the commercial or the residential premises in your building, there is a difference. इनके बिल्डिंग में उसको लैंड में कोई राइट नहीं मिल रहा. Lease what we are talking of doesn't give you right in the land. आज आप ओनरशिप पे आपके बिल्डिंग में कोई कमर्शियल या रेसिडेंस बेचेंगे, he is as good as an owner in the land because that land is with the society. आज ये जो सेपरेट बिल्डिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, they are not part of the society. आप पहले डिफरेंस समझो. ओनरशिप पे बेचने में आप सोसाइटी के पार्ट में हो जो लैंड ऑन करता है. ये जो सेपरेट स्ट्रक्चर है,
मैं ओनरशिप की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ
मैं
सर.
डिफरेंस आपको बता रहा हूँ. जब आपने लीज बोला, इनको ये बेच के, ये बोल के बेचना कि आपको लैंड में राइट नहीं आ रहा है, तो हेडेक फॉर इट. आज कोई भी आएगा बोलेगा सर आपको ऊपर कहीं बेच रहे, लैंड तो सोसाइटी का है.
तो
ठीक है ना सर, we went ahead with that.
Agreed. Regarding compensation, again, sir, वो आप सोचो.
There is no additional compensation that I am receiving so that I can pass it on to the society. So the lease will always going to be on a 1 rupee lease basis per year. Additional compensation is not what I can offer to you. But if the society doesn't want to give lease and if the society is allowing me to have a different society, I will be open to the same.
मला ती परमनंटली जसे बसते ओनरशिप लेवल प्लीज
You are getting a right, sir. You are getting a right for which you are, since the members agree to that, you are giving that lease premium.
Sir, again I will repeat myself. For if lease was not on the table, then for maintenance purposes, when it comes to such a large structure, a different entity, an independent entity maintaining their own affairs is the right thing to do. If you are giving me that independence, I will not ask for lease.
सर ऐसा कोई बेनिफिट
Currently, वो free में लेके जाओ.
ये 5 साल का बेनिफिट फॉर मेंटेन फ्री में
Why should you don't grant me lease? Now give me a different society. I'm okay with this.
और अच्छा ऐसा कोई भी बेनिफिट
कोई
सर को पता है जो
What is the additional benefit I am getting?
जितना हमने एक्सपीरियंस ऐसे किया
What
से
is
बेनिफिट लिया
what is the benefit I am getting in addition?
Sir, that's a technical question which
It is not.
experts can answer.
There's no. I'm telling you there's no.
Members
I am
would,
telling you that there's no additional benefit.
members would be knowing the real benefit.
But yeah, you've got consultants to appraise you that there's no additional benefit.
So you're just getting benefit of कि आप जिसको बेचने वाले हो उसको बोल सकते हो कि भाई मैंने आपके लिए पूरा अलग से खड़ा कर दिया
आपका benefit क्या होगा?
You get a better rate also.
If a large listed entity is coming and operating from your premises, the value of your property is increasing. Okay? Rather than 400, 500 square feet small offices and 100 such offices, if there is a large entity coming, the value of your property is increasing. That is the qualitative aspect what I am getting on the table. अरे सू कराओ.
सर ऐसा कोई दिस इज पॉसिबल ऐसा हमारा ऐसा इतना इतना बड़ा वैल्यू है तो इतना अमाउंट कैन बी एडजस्टेड एंड इट्स पॉसिबल यू कैन श्योरली वर्क आउट सर देखो इतना तो इंडियन क्या लगता है समथिंग शुड बी गिवन टुडे ऑन द टेबल
वी आर प्रपोजिंग इट सॉरी सर
Other than this, I have some points.
2 minutes सर हम लोग ऐसे प्रपोज कर रहे थे व्हाई थॉट आया जस्ट अ थॉट कि अभी जैसे प्रीमियम की आपकी बात आई थी मेंबर से फीस का क्या तो हम लोग साथ को पूछ रहे हैं ये हो चुका है हम दोनों साथ में ही हैं वैसे कौन का विक्रम मेहता का जूहू लेन और एसवी रोड पे जीवन सुधा शालीमार वहाँ पर बिल्डर ने 5 साल मेंटेनेंस फ्री दिया है वही भरेंगे मैं फिंगर्स कम कर सकता हूँ एग्जाम तो हम लोग रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं सर थोड़ा कुछ सालों का अगर मेंटेनेंस फ्री वी नोट हैव टू पे फॉर एनी
सर
नंबर
प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स जस्ट द कॉमन मेंटेन
Not property.
प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स तो
प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स मेंटेन करेंगे तो
प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स पानी
यू डोंट प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स
मेंटेनेंस
जस्ट टॉक अबाउट द कॉमन मेंटेनेंस
4.5
प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स तो हम भी समझते हो
वो जो हम यूज कर रहे हैं बाकी मेंटेनेंस हाउ मेनी इयर्स इफ वी कैन ग्रांट देन वी कैन कंसीडर विचार तो करो
I will think about it and get back to you.
सेकंड पार्ट
सर अभी सोच लो इतना
अरे ना आज 40-50 वर्ष में कोई विचार करो
वो दोनों
Ajay, let us continue the rest of the points.
थैंक यू सर
Please, the rest of the points, please.
Sir, on page 16, we have said that 2% of the area will be tolerance.
आपण साइड मेरा 2%
हाँ.
Now, 2% is also a big amount.
No, so this doesn't mean if in the IOD there is any variation in the area. In the IOD, if I am committed to you 100 square feet, in the IOD I propose 99 square feet, I am liable to do 1 square feet. It is only because of construction workmanship if there is a variance that is going to be that clause is going to be coming into force. Your approvals, your agreements, your IOD will be on the area what you are eligible for. There will be no variation on that. Yes.
That is another point.
I'll add one sentence. See, as a lawyer, this is what I've been seeing in most of the
The existing building, the plan is passed, your area is free. उस plan के हिसाब से आपका नया घर का agreement हो गया, that is registered, you go out, you come back. Your property taxes, maintenance, everything will be on that area. You are going to sell that mortgage and on that area itself. Now this variation is how you measure. मतलब जे variation થાય છે, which RERA says internal walls, brick and tiles. This is just a mental barrier, sir. Variation because RERA provides for three.
Let us move on. I want you to refer para 7.1. Vis-a-vis 22.1.
શું છે સર point?
7.1 basically says that you are entitled for any FSI up to 6.5 effectively. What area is 2759 and you are entitled to develop up to 80,000. But actually you are not developing 6.5, you are developing maybe 5.5.
That's not developing.
That
You are entitled to, but you are not able to consume.
No, that is not the case. The society is granting me rights to develop the building under regulation 3319 of the DCPR, which allows that if the road is more than, your road is at least 27 meters, which allows an FSI of 5 plus fungible. That is the right what the society is granting me, and I am consuming the same. These clauses say that if the DCPR rules changes or if more FSI is made available, then that FSI which goes beyond 5 plus fungible, the benefits arising out of the same will be shared between the society and me. But as we speak under 3319, the DCPR is giving me 5 plus fungible, and that is what the society is granting me.
So, as of today's plan, how much are we consuming?
Almost full.
Full.
Yep.
5%.
Yep.
Sagenji, you can note down there are some typographical errors on page 19. Instead of shops, we have written residential flats.
Para 19.
Page 19. Page 19. Can you give me the clause number?
C and D.
C and D. Residential flats.
Noted, sir.
पहले पढ़ा तो ठीक है लीगली
Parking will be surface or mechanized?
Parking is mechanized.
So you will be giving me only one parking. So I'll always be dependent on the other person to go around.
First estimate क्या है? Stack. Yes, there is. See, we all need parkings, and for us to have the benefits what is being given over here in this document, I have to have sufficient number of parkings, and for the sufficient number of parkings, stack parking is the way we are supposed to go. We don't have an option in that.
Sir, your question should have, sir, your question should have been car park with car without car. गाड़ी खाली आपको
Para 8.16. Sagenji, you can take a note. We are starting with transmission and transfer both. But we are discussing in the para only about transmission. Page 25.
Page 25. Can you repeat the clause number, please?
8.16.
8.16. Okay.
You start with death as well as transfer. But you discuss regarding only transmission in the rest of the para.
Sir, if I will update you.
This is regarding nomination, sir. If someone expires, I don't want the builder to send the legal as to court tomorrow. We are implementing the nomination. Transfers are covered ahead where you can sell the flat during the redevelopment, provided the purchaser gives a deed of adherence. Sale is your birthright. No one can stop that.
Somewhere you have written that if the agreement is not there between the different views of society and the builder, then you will be deciding whether to follow the logic or not. If it is, what to say, not proper, then you will ignore that.
Can you give me the paragraph?
Yes. Page 38, above 16.16. Last 4-5 lines.
You're talking about the defective work, right?
Just read out. The developer shall not be required to rectify any defects if the explanation as provided by managing committee of the society through its PMC is found to be unreasonable. Now, who is going to decide whether it is reasonable or not?
So what you do in case the next line also states that up to the satisfaction of the project architect it will be rectified.
Project architect is again appointed by you.
You put project architect and put the PMCs. I will add the PMC also.
Logically, I think.
Society architect.
But similar powers you are given to project architect in many other processes. Page 64, para 35.1.
Page 64.
I think it should be wing A, not B. Wing B is written there. Should it be A?
Which was?
35.1.
Let me put clarity to this. Wing A is the existing members of the society which is going to be occupying the commercial premises. Wing B is the wing where the sale component is there, and wing C is the residential wing.
Yeah, but in wing A, certain portion is belonging to the builder, right?
No.
Upper two floors, that's what the last one survey.
Okay. So yes, you are right, but we are clarifying and making that as wing B only. We are showing that portion in wing B only.
Okay.
Current plan that maybe will have those existing shops on the ground.
That's it.
Correct.
That's it.
Page 66, para above 36 para. I think the ratio needs to be specified because this is a standard, point of debates and disagreements. Number of units or number of square feet.
You want to mention the common areas and how it is going to be shared, that is on the basis of the consumption rate should be
We have
shared.
just mentioned proportionately. Now proportion can be number of units also and area also.
Proportionally to the area.
That is better.
Sure.
Page 71. Last sixth line, the developer shall not be liable to pay the GST calculated by any other mechanism. So this is little, risky for me. How do I assure that ultimately the GST will be paid by the builder?
So, see, again, this point has been extensively discussed earlier also.
Unfortunately, I was not there.
Okay. So, the underlying transaction between the society and the developer is that the developer is giving his construction services to the society, in lieu of which the developer is getting sale component to sell in the open market. Whatever the developer is selling in the open market, GST on that is paid and discharged by the developer. Since the developer is giving construction services to the society, on construction cost mechanism, whatever is the GST should be the liability of the developer. This is what my understanding is. Now, there are rumors in the market that no, why not market value? Market value is something what is only a rumor and there is no written rule on that, and hence...
I want that. That point is appreciated. The only point is, somewhere it should be very clearly specified that in any case, the GST, whichever mechanism you follow, will be borne by the...
Again, this point, again, as I said, was extensively discussed and was again, what I can do for you is, I can mention that GST on construction cost mechanism shall be borne by the developer. If you want the line which you have highlighted to be deleted, I can delete that line, but the line will state that GST on construction cost mechanism will be borne by the developer.
GST as per whatever law it may be. End of the day, if there is any demand comes at a future stage, who will be liable?
So the demand is never going to come to the society members. The demand will come only to the developer because I will be discharging the GST. And we are not saying on the construction cost mechanism is my prerogative and I am discharging it. Okay? There is no rule which says that this is the methodology of calculation of GST. There is no law. It is interpretation of people. Some people say, there are some consultants who say that on market value it has to be levied. If on market value it is levied, then this entire real estate industry collapses. So we are not saying that whose liability it is, we are not saying it is my liability, I am not putting the liability on you also.
I want to be very plain, simple, clear. At any given point of time, even before the construction, during the construction or after the construction, any demand for GST, whatever purview it may be, by whatever assumption what you are saying comes, is society going to be hit by even a single penny?
Again, I will repeat the clause, and I think Mr. Salim will also throw some light on it. The clause is saying that the GST on construction cost mechanism shall be borne by the developer. We are not talking about any other mechanism, and we are not saying whose liability it is in any other mechanism. I am not putting it on the liability on the members also. I am not saying it is my liability also. Okay? The only thing what we are stating in the document on construction cost mechanism will be borne by the developer, and the underlying transaction what I have explained to you is such that I am providing construction services to you.
तिवारी जी यहाँ थोड़ा डिस्कनेक्ट है. जो पेपर्स को हमने बताया कि GST will always be borne by the builder. तो यहाँ पर भी थोड़ा डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है.
क्या बोल रहे हैं ये जो एग्जिस्टिंग के सामने आपको एडजस्टमेंट करके जो आपको डेवलपमेंट दिया जाएगा उसके सामने जीएसटी नहीं होगा अगर इफ यू बाय एनीथिंग न्यू
नहीं, उसकी बात नहीं चल रही है. जो फ्री एरिया दिया जाएगा उसके ऊपर GST कैलकुलेशन वो एक पर्टिकुलर मेथड फॉलो करेंगे. फॉर एनी रीजन GST डिपार्टमेंट के साथ वो बराबर नहीं होता है.
Okay, I appreciate your concern. One thing to highlight, it is not only on the free area, it is on the existing area and the free area.
Yes.
Okay. Moreover, I have been discharging my GST liabilities over the years since the GST regime under the same methodology. Okay, and there has not been any objections till today on the same. That is another thing to be considered.
Okay. 1 second, I would like to you to pause here.
Yes.
If that is the case, we would like to say that in future the same thing will continue. So we are requesting you the same thing. That you mentioned that any liability at that juncture will be borne by the builder.
Till the time you are,
And it will not be passed on to the
till
society.
the time the commitment you are giving, till the OC arrives, anything and any other thing under the sun is covered by the builder, by whatever means it may be. End of the day, we are only concerned with the delivery of the premises what you are committed as per the clause. We are not wanting to get into any heading of any taxation, to be very specific.
What I can do for you is, the clause as I said at GST, I will continue that on construction cost mechanism will be borne by me. what I can add in the document is that a developer in no way shall hold the possession of the existing members and also in future ask for any further monies from the existing members, save and except the extra area what they have purchased. This is what I can do for you. But making a blanket statement.
Can you repeat,
Yeah.
please?
So GST on construction cost mechanism on the area of the existing members and the area given free of cost to them will be borne by the developer on construction cost mechanism. The developer shall in no way stop the possession or not grant possession to the existing members for any reason whatsoever. Further, the developer shall not demand for any monies in addition to what has been envisioned under the document throughout the redevelopment under any head. Vanilla नहीं डाल सकते sir. Vanilla नहीं डाल सकते because for the simple reason that there are some consultants who say that it's on market value and this is not the only redevelopment I'm doing. I'm doing multiple redevelopments in the same entity. My entire portfolio gets affected on the same. If one document I make a blanket statement that all the GST will be borne by me, if there is a litigation tomorrow and if there is going to be a scenario that anything is going to be charged, it's going to go to litigation. My entire portfolio goes into litigation then. It's not only one document.
So you give a side letter.
So, I have been absolutely clear and the society also appreciate that we are getting into this transaction because both of us have to benefit in this transaction. If there is going to be a scenario in which an officer is going to demand anything, it is going to go to litigation and I don't want a document which says that I am liable to pay the same, neither I am putting the liability on you, it is going to go to litigation only.
The statement for any recoveries on taxation matters, I think will be borne by the society.
It's the same meaning. It's the same. So I am not ready to put on paper that I will be responsible. I am not even saying that you are responsible. I am saying that if this market value GST comes into play, this matter goes into litigation. I am not asking you all to pay for it. Neither I am going to hold your possession. Neither I am going to demand it from you. But I don't want to make a statement that I am liable.
Eventually, you will have your own consultant who will say, this happened on this.
I have always been doing it accordingly.
Then what is
I don't want that liability to come on me tomorrow. My entire portfolio liability comes on me. Then, if not a payment, at least there might be a claim on me.
तिवारी जी, ये अमाउंट बढ़ रहा है.
बट सर ये भी आपको अप्रिशिएट करना है कि ये प्रैक्टिकल है कि नहीं.
ऑफर सिलेक्ट किया, आगे बढ़े इतने, तब तक यही अंडरस्टैंडिंग थी कि जीएसटी की लायबिलिटी मिल जाता है.
सर यहाँ पे हमें ये बोलना है कि एडिशनल लेते हैं वो तो समझ में आता है लोग करेंगे जीएसटी में, तो पुराने कुछ भी रहेंगे वो सोसाइटी के ऊपर नहीं आना.
अगर आप पूछ रहे हो कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट मैकेनिज्म आपको हटाना है तो वो नहीं हटने वाला है, वो रहने वाला है कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट मैकेनिज्म को
तो बोलिए ना, तो आपने एक्सेप्ट किया है कि डेवलपर रहेगा,
लेकिन ऐसा नहीं करता है.
construction cost mechanism, specifying construction cost mechanism you are agreeing to.
We have no problem with that.
Then what is the problem? मैं ये स्टेटमेंट दे ही रहा हूँ और राइटिंग में देने को तैयार हो गया. मैं आपसे कुछ भी डिमांड नहीं करूँगा. I will under any head not demand any money from the members.
and you will handle it.
Department can always recover from our perspective.
Again, see the GST, if a demand has to be raised, again it's never going to be raised on the members, it's always going to be raised on the developer. Because the service is going to be provided because the existing members or the society is not providing any service to anyone. So them be demanded for any money is out of question.
यहाँ पे शॉर्ट बोले सर क्या बोल रहे हैं, वो लायबिलिटी इम्प्रूव करनी आएगी, तो मतलब कि ऑटोमेटिकली सारी उसको लिखेंगे ना.
तो फिर लिख के
मैं लिख रहा हूँ ना, कोई भी हेड में आपसे डिमांड नहीं करूँगा.
डिपार्टमेंट के अगर एडिशनल
वाइडनिंग द स्कोप.
वो अगर कोई एडिशनल लायबिलिटी की डिमांड आएगी वो उसको आप हैंडल करेंगे, नॉट मेंबर्स.
I am going one step forward and say कोई भी हेड में आपको डिमांड नहीं करूँगा.
आप
मुझे डॉक्यूमेंट पोर्शन पे स्पेसिफिकली लायबिलिटी लेना नहीं है कि जीएसटी मैं मार्केट वैल्यू पे भरूंगा, वो मुझे स्टेटमेंट देना नहीं है, या कोई भी लायबिलिटी आएगी मेरा जिम्मेदारी है, वो मुझे स्टेटमेंट देना नहीं है। मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं आपको डिमांड नहीं करूंगा, और डिपार्टमेंट आपको डिमांड करेगा वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, बिकॉज जीएसटी नंबर ही नहीं है आपके पास, डिमांड कैसे करेगा?
जीएसटी नंबर है ना सोसाइटी के पास।
इंडिविजुअल नंबर से बात कर रहा हूँ।
सेटिस्फाइड तो नहीं हूँ सर, आई डोंट थिंक एनीबॉडी इज सेटिस्फाइड, क्योंकि मेरे सर पे तलवार तो रखी है।
सर कैसे करना लटकी है सर, वही मैं आपको समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि अगेन द डिपार्टमेंट आस्किंग यू फॉर जीएसटी इज इट पॉसिबल?
You take an advance ruling.
Pardon?
You take an advance ruling from the GST department on this.
Not advance today.
That GST on the
There
construction.
are litigations which are already ongoing in the Supreme Court for the same.
Already this is a
So in that case, we have to wait for the Supreme Court judgment.
this is a sword on our head only, no?
Again, see, this is.
Whatever all said and done, we want the comfort from you that we will not be, and in a very plain, simple English language.
Sir, what comfort I can give you is that I will not demand any money from you.
You won't demand, but the department.
But department practically cannot demand. See, I have a difficulty in making a statement that all tax liabilities are mine because it affects my entire portfolio. If in future there is going to be a claim, it will be on my entire portfolio, which is as of today more than 3,000 crores. And the GST on that on market value is going to be exorbitant. So I am not saying that I am pushing the liability on you. Please appreciate that point of view. I am not pushing the liability on you. I am saying, Ulteka, I will not demand any money from you. I am saying that I am just clarifying in my document that on construction cost mechanism I am going to discharge and I will not demand any money from you. I don't want to make any statement that if there is any tax liability of any other nature on GST or any other mechanism to put by me, that statement is what I am reluctant to put. It goes into litigation because the entire real estate of the entire country goes to dumps. So the litigation will not come to you because the department is always going to raise the demand on me and not you. So you falling part of the litigation doesn't arise only.
एक लास्ट पॉइंट है जो सबके लिए राइटर मोमेंट देगा. There is a clause somewhere that if the society member is delaying handing over vacant possession to the builder, he will be charged 50,000 per day. And so 1 unit. And if the SOSA builder is not giving possession of the constructed property, he will be charged only 25,000 per day. This is a good joke.
Okay. To clarify that point number one, no one wants the project to get delayed. PCPL has never delayed a project.
I understand, but everyone should have moved it fast.
Yes. By the developer has never defaulted till today and never will default in future. Okay. But a descending member, we all would want to encourage him not to be descending and to come and consent. So that figure is only to when there is a genuine hardship. Say, for example, there is a family function or there is a family some problem in which there are few days of delay. That is not what we are going to charge. We are not in.
All simple thing, method, freedom. You could have made it 25,000. Made it 50,000.
We make it 25,000. We make it 25,000. What? Any other points?
So, just received a question from Mr. Bush. He is not available. So, जो आप पूछ रहे थे कि आपको क्या फायदा है, और वो ask you, साहिल जी अगर लीज पे देते हैं तो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी लगता है कि नहीं लगता है?
स्टैम्प ड्यूटी is as well as normal लगता है. लीज में और नॉर्मल सेल में स्टैम्प ड्यूटी is almost the same. There is no difference.
तो सो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी लीज वाले पार्ट में स्टैम्प ड्यूटी भरना होगा.
Same right for me. कोई difference नहीं.
करेगा स्टैम्प ड्यूटी एज द ओनर ऑफ द लैंड. So by default, he will be the owner of that much premises.
He is the owner of this premises.
Yeah, he is premises, of course.
Land always belongs to the
Yeah,
society.
not about the land. The lease
How should he pay the stamp
और
duty?
उसके ऊपर स्टैंड ड्यूटी आता है, बट जो लीज पे देते हैं उस पर स्टैंड ड्यूटी नहीं आता है.
नहीं, lease पे as good as conveyance से आप किसी stamp duty वाले को पूछ सकते हैं.
That's what lease has.
Lease is as good as conveyance. जो आप sale करते हो, same stamp duty लगेगा.
We are making this a part of this lease deed that specifically the requirement for the lease deed restricts the developer or the person who is coming in that premises is only for the purpose of maintenance and for the ongoing day-to-day operations of the premises. This is very clear, right?
Because we were is the lease period. No, we have to discuss.
These are the 2 points that are pending.
And he has to consider
2 points yes, the lease deed to the
number of years, generally can pay maintenance and
Number of years we have to discuss and the lease period.
we have proposed 40 to 50, let him consider, and plus maintenance will be
Lease
we are proposing 40.
You can give the direct benefit to all the members as per hardship compensation.
See, the problem is the moment the lease premium is paid, it is taxable, it's an income for the
So
society.
that's what.
You can say make my maintenance free.
So if it's a taxable bill, we can convert it to a hardship benefit for hardship compensation.
Better I'm asking for maintenance free, I don't have to pay maintenance for n number of years after
And we
that.
need to work out on the property also.
Maintenance, see, generally a builder, considering your layout, the size and the number of units, it is going to be high. And he has certain amenities also. And generally for 1 year, builder maintains it because they have that VIP 5-star treatment. आप जब वापस आओगे तो पहले दिन ही प्रकाश सर बिल नहीं भेजने वाले, चेयरमैन कहीं और ये कहीं और, तो पहले दिन से मेंटेनेंस कलेक्शन नहीं होगा. तो जनरली बिल्डर 1 साल तक मेंटेन करते हैं. So that is their privilege that 5-star treatment और कितने साल और कंटिन्यू करेंगे. प्रपोजल से
1+1.
देखो मैंने 5 बोला था सर. So he come back.
Yeah, so question to the committee whether two decisions are pending on my end. If you have proposed that maintenance, what can I consider? Second is the number of years. These 2 things are pending. Is the society in a position of passing a resolution today, approving the same? If yes, then I can.
Subject to these two. Subject to these two.
No, that's great. And
D has an error.
Sorry.
D has an error.
he has an
Annexure में square feet गलत लिखे मैंने.
वो तो बात हो गई है।
इन्हें ऑलरेडी कर दिया है.
कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा।
सर उसके हिसाब से plans और area square feet हो जाएगा.
सब चेंज होगा. सी प्लान्स एनेक्शन
वो सब पूरा
we are only authorizing the DA and power. आज का मीटिंग DA और पावर के लिए है.
वो सब इलेक्शन वगैरह चेंज होगा, चेंज आगे
सर पावर
सर एक सोल आर्बिट्रेटर अपॉइंट होने वाला है और पावर वाला ने आर्बिट्रेटर अपॉइंट करने की पावर भी बिल्डर को दी गई है, तो फिर सोसाइटी को आर्बिट्रेशन की जरूरत नहीं है.
This arbitration, the power is granted is not for the litigation between you and me. If a litigation has to arise between you and me, I am not authorized to appoint. If for another matter, if there is a litigation, I am authorized to appoint on your behalf an arbitrator. If the dispute is between you and me, I cannot appoint her. It defeats the purpose.
No. Sir, understand one thing. We are really missing the bus. What is the power issued for? Power is where he represents you. So power of attorney is issued by the society to him for arbitration or civil court if there is any issue in the redevelopment of the plot. आप जो करोगे वो independently करने वाले हो. Power जब आप दे रहे हो, he is going to sign for you, seal it to owner. That representation we are saying is the power.
That is one of the interpretation.
There is only one interpretation, sir. When does he use your power? Because you have given a power की third party अगर यहाँ पे आती है, कोई भी तरीके का litigation होता है, उसमें आप arbitration use करो.
Talking to Manova, I don't see that situation arising. So it is more of an academic discussion.
Sir, that's why I'm clearing it.
Academically, I don't agree with you.
That's fine. That's your privilege, sir. That's your privilege and understanding.
Because
But it is one thing understand. When you are issuing a power, what are you issuing a power for? 30-40 पेज का power है. That is for redevelopment. Redevelopment में someone comes up, there is a litigation. That is the clause you are telling him. आपको arbitration में हमारे नाम पे जाना है, जाओ. Your personal litigation with the developer, God forbid happens, that is covered in the DA. Arbitration वहाँ पे भी लिखा है, वहाँ पे आप पूछ जाओगे. After terminating the DA. So this power is for him. Redevelopment के कोर्स में कोई आया तो arbitration civil court हमारे नाम पे जा सकते हैं.
One clarification I need about the rent. Can you tell me as per contracting what date you are liable to pay the rent? It says the OC, not the possession first of all.
Post OC 30 days.
30 days to
So I want in possession. OC and possession can be two different things.
Sir, it can take months also.
a person will be tracking Mr. Pull just started in the US, he is going after 6 months. We cannot wait for him to come after 6 months and keep his rent on. So after 30 days, once the occupation is received, 30th day is deemed possession is being granted.
And how you ensure that all nitty-gritties are checked out? Because OC can happen definitely much ahead of the flat is really ready for possession.
So here what clauses have been put in the development agreement that all the facilities have to be complete and it is my prerogative to have the water, electricity, etc. done before the occupation certificate is granted.
And who certifies that it is done?
It's already been certified by the society's architect and society's consultant.
The guy who is going to stay there, he has to certify, right?
Inspection clause is already there in the development agreement.
Now what it says?
So before taking possession, you have to inspect your premises by a society.
Correct. But my rent is not linked to possession. I might reject the possession, but my rent stops.
So no, the rent will be to the 30th day.
Yeah.
As individuals, we don't have a certification. It is the society's architect and society's consultant who is certifying the same.
In that case, I would request to increase this period at least.
So when it comes to individuals, the inspection will be there, the joint inspection will be there, but rent will be up to 30 days.
In fact, in the point of convention, I
But you want an inspection slightly before the occupation certificate, I don't mind that, we can incorporate that.
Another thing is force measure. I want rent to be excluded from the force measure. There might be issues.
It's already excluded.
It is already excluded.
So,
It's already part of the development.
so it means, for the sake of my clarity, I will continue to get the rent if the work is not completed for reason due to force measure.
Force
It is
major
already part of the development agreement.
Force major grants extension in time for completion. Rent payment is his liability. He's agreed on that. See, as far as the possession is concerned, I'll clarify one thing. आपका नए जगह का इंस्पेक्शन होने वाला है थ्रू डेवलपर, उनका आर्किटेक्ट और पीएमसी। अगर आपको फ्लैट में कोई भी माइनस प्लस दिखता है, there is the right builder is going to rectify that. Once the full OC is issued, एक बार full OC issue हो चुका है, there is nothing which is pending because that is based on PMC inspection. Full OC के बाद आपके पास 30 दिन है, तब तक वो प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स भरेंगे, आपका रेंट भरेंगे, दिस इज द जनरल क्लॉज। 30 डेज के बाद आप आओ मत आओ, रेंट बंद होने वाला, प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स बंद होगा, फिर हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। आफ्टर पोस्ट OC 30 डेज वो बिल्डर को पे 30 डेज तक आपको वापस आना है।
So the joint inspection that you mentioned, will that be done only?
Yes, and we have put in one more clause, madam. The developer's architect has to certify each flat with the carpet area. He's agreed on that. His architect, project architect, is going to give a certificate per flat. So area का doubt था that this is the carpet area on his letter. And that will also contain that, madam. What amenities were proposed is given. So the architect is sticking his neck out for every flat. Don't worry.
That brings to a question of amenities.
Sorry. एक ही मिनट सर.
So you mentioned about amenities. The annexure which is attached with the DA for amenities is quite skeleton, I would say. It is more like a brochure than a contract. There are no details like, say for example, you are going to give a gym. There is no mention of the gym in the external amenity or there is no mention of the society office. There are several items which are absolutely not there. And the items which are mentioned there are like, I will give you items, there are no technical or specific details about it. So as such, the list is given, it is quite generic without any specifics. Any comment on that?
They have already attached the list of communities with the make and the brands that are going to be provided. With respect to the gymnasium and society office, the specifications are already mentioned in the development agreement. In fact, the plans are also attached in the development agreement which shows the society office and gymnasium, etc.
Correct. But in the amenity restrict subject to availability of the space, you will give the society office.
Can you please check? The drawing does show the society office, it does not show the area, how much it would be. And in the plan it says it will be given if it is a spec.
Please also check clause number 9.5 on page number 26, which has specific details.
The whole agreement should be read together, right? If there is something written in one of the annexures.
Your point is that if space available, you want to get deleted or for the resident society, you get deleted in the agreement.
That is for sure.
If subject to space restrictions, then only remove the amenities.
And I would like to add some details in the amenities, what we are going to give. We'll give the...
Sir, I appreciate your point that you would like to add amenities. Now, today's meeting was called by the managing committee. It was informed to me that we are concluding the development agreement. The development agreement is under negotiation since I think more than 6-8 months now. And it is high time we need to move ahead, because without a development agreement we cannot do anything. We need to pass this development agreement and then move ahead. So I will appreciate if the society concludes this today, subject to my 2 points which I have committed to come back on. If the society concludes this, then we move ahead, because after the development agreement resolution is passed approving, then I go into adjudication, then I pay stamp duty, then the registration happens, and then I go into approvals. So it's been quite a long time now, and I would appreciate if the society acts on it at the earliest.
We do agree and appreciate that DA is the most important document, and it is also for individual also, because once we signed it, we have to leave it for our generations forever.
And this was circulated to the general body when the first time, the day.
Long back. It was first day the last meeting was made, before that.
At least 2-3 months back. So whatever changes we want from the members, it's 100%, it's the members' property and it's the members' decision and the general body decision. The only request to the general body is that it's been a long time, whatever changes we can put, we will put. If today also changes come, we will put, but it cannot be never ending. It has to conclude at some point of time.
Another issue was in the DA, the layout of the housing itself. There were a couple of discussions, some people had come there. There was 1 layout, 2 layout, 3rd layout. The 3rd layout which has been given with the DA, that was not probably acceptable to many of them because of several reasons. This is not the forum to discuss that. Are we bound with that agreement or that drawing for the housing or no? That is the question.
I have had multiple round of meetings with the committee members, the residential members, the commercial members. Whatever plans have been drawn up are drawn up by the suggestions given by the members. I have not done it by myself. I have gone with the suggestions given by the members, and I would have assumed that I have resolved everyone for me. That is why I am sitting today over here to approve the DA today. And today I get to know that you all are not satisfied. That's very surprising to me, because according to me, I have had multiple round of meetings with the architects in my office and made multiple changes to the plans and tried to satisfy everyone.
Yeah, there were 3 meetings. One of them I was also part of it.
We are talking about the residential units.
Residential units.
Right. Kalpana and actually,
They are also given the comments from that.
So they are not accepting this.
Sir, they are not accepting fine, but they are also not accepting at the moment as it is. They are given us the 3 layouts in fact. We thought the other layout was much better, because in this layout the houses are 10 feet wide. Doesn't make any sense for many of us.
Sir, again, from my side, I have completely followed what suggestions have come to me, and I have drawn up plans in accordance to that. So I would put it to the general body to decide which plan they want to go to. I don't have, in fact, I may have only 1 flat to sell. So I have completely gone with what the members want. So if the majority of the members want A and 1 member wants B, I will have to go with the majority of A.
Again. Okay, so we'll have to come back to you with what A, B or C, which is
I need clarity on this, because this is never ending. When do we export this?
कोई प्रॉब्लम है क्या? जितना लोगों ने बोला ना कि ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, nothing possible हुआ. आपकी टीम ने पूरा उसको accommodate किया.
Maybe correct. I agree with that. He has revised the plan, the 3rd plan which has come. But it became worse than the 2nd one.
फ्लोर पे है, जिन ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे. और सर जिन ऊपर है, नीचे कम्युनिटी हॉल. हाँ, कम्युनिटी हॉल नीचे है, जिन ऊपर.
Yeah, that we have said. The issue with the flat layout itself. Anybody sharing my opinion here or want to talk? I think there is some confusion. There is 3rd plan which is not acceptable to us. many, I would say majority.
सर रेसिडेंशियल का तो जहाँ तक मेरा मालूम है 11 यूनिट्स 12 है एक से लेवल है बाकी सब का जो जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन देना था या अक्षय और कल्पना वगैरह गए थे उस हिसाब से आपसे इम्पोर्टेंट किया जाता था अब क्या प्रॉब्लम है अभी क्या प्रॉब्लम मेरे ख्याल से तो सबका सॉर्टेड हो गया कल तक सॉर्टेड हो गया था तो बात करें क्या रेसिडेंशियल यूनिट्स वाले
So not got it. Teacher said that you are not acceptable. Why you didn't know what has gone behind it? Right?
डाला हुआ था प्लान और इनका सजेशन था कि आई वी डोंट वांट दिस वी डोंट वांट दिस तो लोग ने डिस्कस किया था बिल्डर के पास जाके प्लान उन्होंने बोला दिस इज द फाइनल प्लान और मैंने भी ग्रुप में डाल दिया था कि अगर कुछ आपको एडिशनल या सब्ट्रैक्शन चाहिए यू कैन कोऑर्डिनेट द डेवलपर इन द मीटिंग लेकिन मैं जो डिजाइन बनता है हाँ तो मैंने चीज पूरी करेंगे वही तो बोला कि मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता ना तो जो भी है सामने डिस्कस करेंगे इफ दे कैन चेंज
मेहता जी आपका क्या मतलब प्रॉब्लम है
सर क्या है कि पहले जो कमर्शियल था वो अभी उन्होंने लोकेशन चेंज किया ना कमर्शियल का उसकी वजह से तो हमारा सब रेजिडेंशियल का पूरा प्लानिंग पूरा लेआउट ही चेंज हो गया है बिकॉज ऑफ दैट उसके ऊपर सर
मैं तो सोचा सब आप लोग एक पेज पे आगे चल वेरिएशन फास्ट में आप लोग ने बेटा
we don't know the architect can help us sizes भी बराबर नहीं है
So entry, what Manali tells me is that the entry exit, which was not east-west first, has been made east-west. The kitchen, which was demanded for in the north, has already been put in the north. So according to me and according to my team, we have already accommodated all the suggestions which were received by the commercial and residential members, and try to accommodate all of it. And again, very surprising and shocking that on the day we are coming to finalize the development agreement and pass a resolution, we are going back and saying that we are not satisfied.
the third layout was not
Sir, the committee has come and I have done it with the committee and it has been passed on.
क्या हुआ फिर अभी तो इन्होंने वास्तु के हिसाब से ईस्ट वेस्ट बता दिया पीछे का भी बता दिया तो अभी क्या प्रॉब्लम है
नॉर्थ में टीचर हमने बोला ही नहीं
मैम आपके बाकी मेंबर्स भी बोले
No, the issue one of the main issue is the size of the rooms. The bedrooms now what are given are only 10 feet wide. Even the hall is 10 feet long and 30 feet. Of course, they have made something. It is earlier the bedrooms were 14 by 12 or something. Now there is no room to move around. As per us, you might have some reasons why it is high. But at that point, it is not allowed.
get all the residential purpose and pass a resolution unanimously or by majority as to what they want. Because individuals, the structure is going to be one structure. If I listen to A group of people, then B group is not satisfied. If I listen to B group, then A group is not satisfied. We have to pass it on a majority basis. Whatever decision is, I am ready to with the members of the society. But I can't make different plans for A group and B group, right?
So to that, everyone agrees and understands that. And you here are engineers also. So that is perfectly gone. What you are saying makes sense. We are sorry that you came here assuming that everything is final. There is no questions on the residential. But somehow that was miscommunication within ourselves because they never satisfied with the lot type. Many of you were thinking that you are not to number one was much better than the other.
अभी क्या करें कैसे करें आप लोग का जो भी
to the new plan and see how, because the plan number 3 which has come with the DA is definitely not acceptable.
Just to highlight, just to make it to the notice of the general body, my team just tells me that the LOI was granted in June 24. We are now approaching May of 26. 2 years we have been negotiating on the development agreement and the plans. Whatever it is today, I don't see a conclusive thing happening even today. Only request is, I will once again attempt to try and satisfy everyone, but let's have a deadline because my team is also, work tremendously on it and we need to conclude and move ahead. 2 years for plans and agreement is a prolonged amount of time. I have never, negotiated for 2 years in any other society. Having said that, I am ready to do it again. Let's conclude it and let's see that if we can have a resolution approved in the next 10 days is my humble request.
उसकी वजह से वो जो कैलकुलेशन हुआ आपका उसकी वजह से जो बेडरूम है उसमें इफेक्ट आया तो अभी लगता है कि बेडरूम छोटा हो गया लेकिन वो किचन और ड्राइंग रूम इंटरचेंज किया है वो हिसाब आपका जो कमर्शियल का हुआ वो कोर्ट के लिए हुआ
आपने मांगा कि आपको नॉर्थ में किचन चाहिए, मैंने नॉर्थ में किचन डाला और इसका ईस्ट वेस्ट चाहिए आपको, वो मैंने डाला। तो आप ही बोल रहे हैं, आपके बता दीजिए आप क्या चीजों में करके देने में तैयार हो। Individually आप वर्क कर रहे हो। Again, Mr. Tiwari, the only way to conclude this matter is up to 11 residential members, let them have a meeting amongst themselves, let them tell what unanimously or by majority what they want and we'll get it done. That is the only solution. Individually I can't deal with it.
आप लोग वापस में एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आइए, सेम प्लेटफॉर्म पे आइए। 11 जन आपके साथ 11 जन है। अभी तो ऐसा देखो मेरे पास में आप भी रुक जाओ और मैं 11 लोग आपस में मिलकर बात कर रहे हैं। हमें तो ये पता है कि ये प्रॉब्लम है तो सर के पास सब मीटिंग भी किए गए और उन्होंने उससे ऐसा सब कर दिया। तो आज पता चलता है
मीटिंग में हम लोग कभी गए थे, हमने ये डिस्कस सबका प्रॉब्लम हमने सॉर्ट आउट करने का ट्राई किया। तभी बोला कि ये जो प्लान चेंज हुआ है कमर्शियल इज कौन है तो जो स्कोर हुआ है उसकी वजह से यही प्लान फाइनल रहेगा, हमको ऐसा बताया था।
उसके बाद भी सर जो भी चेंजेस
हाँ, जो भी चेंजेस वो पॉसिबल हुआ था, होना था, वो उन्होंने करके दिया है। So this is what I have mentioned कि this is the final plan. That's it.
अभी क्या हो सकता है?
आप पहले कंसेंसस लाइए, मैं आपको बोलूँगा मतलब और
तो आप लोग 11 जो यूनिट आपस में बैठिए, बात कीजिए क्या चाहिए।
11 लोग एक साथ मीटिंग आपके साथ कर रहे हैं, लोग सब भी और
लोग पहले अपने रिक्वायरमेंट तो बताएं,
लोग पहले उसके बाद आपके साथ बैठे।
ये तो अपने तो लगभग सब होते हैं।
11 की 11 साथ में कोई
पर वो आप लोगों के साथ शेयर किया गया था ना कि उन्होंने आगे बताया ये चीज़ चाहिए तो प्रॉब्लम था उन्होंने आगे
I suggest that the residential members have a meeting. Let's continue the meeting today because I had another point to talk about. Any other point to discuss? Yes. to that, my only submission to the general body is that we have classified the existing members into categories and tried to treat each class of members equally. By class of members, what I mean is the roadside commercial premises have been treated differently. The side open space, whatever units are there, that they have been treated equally. The residential members have been treated equally. The residential members who are coming into a commercial have been treated differently. There are different classes of members, and we have tried our level best to accommodate and consider every class of member and treat them equally in the same class.
I'll just take a couple of minutes to make you understand this. I've been from day one very supportive of the development. I've always been told that at every stage agreed to it. In spite of being on the ground floor when we were suggested that we don't mind putting up, I was among the earliest ones to agree. Now being a doctor, a lot of people have this misconception with my fraternity. I'm not doing general dentistry stuff. I'm doing extremely high-end reconstructive surgical work. And me shifted to the fourth floor. I have a minor OT in my setup. I'm never going to get any ABH or any Ayushman accreditation at the fourth floor. For the smallest of things, I'm going to be rejected. So that's a separate topic for discussion. I don't understand on what basis were the allotment shifted from ground, first, second, third, or the fourth floor. Because a lot of us who've gone on the higher floor will have our share of grievances. We're very supportive of it. But to go on the fourth floor all of a sudden, it just kills my entire business and I am literally finished. I don't have any opportunity to restart practice in the new premises. It's like the end of the story for me. So there has to be some consensus amongst the commercial venues. I hope you're able to understand.
I appreciate your point. Where I come from is this entire plan was moved and changed first. The commercial units were towards the southeast corner, now is towards the northwest corner. Okay? And there is a grid which is to be followed. All the 500 go one above the other, all the 400 go one above the other. That grid was created and a suggested allotment was done. And then the committee and my team sat and did a reshuffling and tried to accommodate everyone.
New reshuffling, I'm sorry, new reshuffling or the new allotments have just happened. It's just come to us. We want to share our grievances. This is a very polite way of trying to.
I appreciate your concern. I have only around 4 to 5 units on the first level.
Yes.
Okay. And many of us would want to have the first floor units. Now, the number of units demanding for the first floor are way higher than the actual number of units which are actually over there. I have no problem when it has been allotted to you, or when it is allotted to him, or when it is allotted to any person. For me, it is an area which is not going to be comfortable safe to do. So my request is, internally, if you could assess and sit with the committee and figure this out, because I am open to give it to anyone on the existing list. For me, just
a lot of us have. You want to share your anyone else?
So just wanted to know, as we spoke last time, there was some, it was a clarity that you were not put up this on allotting premises for the commercial because the general board meeting will bring all the things. So just want to understand that 14 shops have been allotted by the general board meeting on the ground floor. What about the other commercials? Why do the other commercials contribute back to the 14? Why they allotted by saying that we have 3 shops, we have one of 3 shops on the ground, so we have practice on the ground floor side. We are not able to work on. So
I will repeat my statement which I earlier made. All the different classes of members have been treated equally amongst the class. We have categorized the roads facing, the shop facing the road as one, and we have categorized all the side facing as one. And all of the side facing, whatever the usage may be, we have treated them with a percentage that they will be shifted on the higher side, and we have given them an additional percentage to that effect. And also an allotment on the higher floor, and all of them, we have not said that, okay, one fellow has got a particular business, so let him be on the ground floor and let the rest be on the higher floor. We have treated all of them equally.
yes, sir. I agree, sir. You clear this in this statement. You clear. Last time I saw the same thing. You clear. We appreciate that. I appreciate it. Respect whatever you have said. But I just want to understand. I'm not I'm not talking about the sides or the left side of the building or the right side of the
A
building.
suggested allotment had come from my end. You are not to deliberate on this even more.
So we revised, you also mentioned in the early meeting that you will revise the plan which you did. We appreciate that you revised the plan. But again from the revise, I believe that has come from the, I had been allotted a shop from the ground to the floor. Now I have been allotted to second. I think on whose consent I want to understand what
It is the design, it is the design what dominates the allotment. Okay. Depending on what grade is forming and depending on what kind of grade is forming is what we suggest that all the 500s go one below the other, all the 400s go one below the other. That's how a suggested allotment comes from my team. Then it is presented to the general body and the managing committee, and then the inputs are taken. Some changes are possible, some changes are not possible.
So that's what I'm saying. The tenant board meeting is not very consistent to the other people. It's like what have been allotted, the 14 shops which have been allotted to the ground. They have started that हम 14 नीचे ही होने वाले हैं. बाकी हम allot करेंगे, board meeting में decide करेंगे, allot करेंगे आपको 2 वाले में. या आपको 4 वाले में. I sir, I oppose, I don't want a second.
आपका हो गया तो ऐसा है कि जो हमारी पहली बात है साइज का कॉन्स्टेंट है. बहुत बड़ी बिल्डिंग सब नीचे शॉप वाले अलॉटेड हो जाते हैं. शॉप सबने जो डिजाइन वगैरह कैसे भी प्लॉट किया, इधर 3 है बेसमेंट है, बहुत सी चीज़ें छोटी सी जगह में सबको एडजस्ट करना है. तो 11 ही दुकान नीचे है, छोटी के लिए तो आप बार-बार बोल रहे हैं कि ऊपर गए. इसमें मेरा भी शॉप है और 10 नंबर है, अपने का नंबर. ठीक है.
Please sir, आपके शॉप से है.
तो 11 ही शॉप नीचे एकोमोडेट हो गए, ज़्यादा नहीं हो रहे. तो बाकी है ना, इन्होंने सबने बिक्री में बोला था अपर फ्लोर से, ये नहीं बोला था कि आपको फर्स्ट में मिलेगा, सेकंड में थर्ड में मिलेगा. अभी है ना डिजाइन भी वर्टिकल पहले था, अभी ऑरिजिनल. उसके हिसाब से पिछली बार आप जब मीटिंग में आए थे तो इन्होंने आपका फोर्थ फ्लोर.
That's what I mentioned now.
तो आप अभी सेकंड आए.
That now it's been allowed to second.
आप बल्कि नीचे आए हो. क्यों आए हो? ये सब चेंज हुआ है, आपके बेनिफिट के लिए हो गया.
Sir, आपने तो second allotment किया by the general meeting.
अभी अब आ जाओ दूसरी बातों पे. तो नीचे दुकानें आप देखे होंगे, सम मतलब शॉप्स आर फेसिंग एमबी रोड, सम आर विजुअली रोड. ठीक है. तो उस हिसाब से 1 to 14 किया. 1 to 14 में 3 चलेंगे ऊपर, बचे 11 तो 11 ही शॉप है. ज़्यादा नहीं. बाकी सब ऊपर गए हैं. तो ऐसा है, कोई किसी के साथ नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं किया गया कि डेलिबरेटली कुछ ऐसा किया गया है.
I'm not blaming you and doing it deliberately for anybody. So we all in the same society, we all neighbors.
रीडेवलपमेंट उसी हिसाब से होता है. सबको एक कंडीशन पे आना चाहिए, थोड़ा एडजस्टमेंट करना चाहिए. सब
लेकिन कंडीशंस पे आने के लिए भी कंसेंट चाहिए होते हैं. क्या आप पूछ सकते हो उसको? Are you okay to go to second line?
आपके क्वेश्चन का जवाब दे रहे हैं ना, हमें इससे ज़्यादा क्या करें?
इसका जवाब ही नहीं.
They are not able to act like this. It is between the
my best foot forward and trying to resolve all matters which is not coming to a conclusive result. So I leave it to the management.
So we respect the transparency. We have to know everything. We respect the transparency from day one. I salute you for the transparency, but we are not getting transparency from the general board meeting. Where the consent coming from? Follow this.
So see, again, our should be resolved is a prerogative of the managing committee, and request the managing committee to deal with the matter and come back to me at the earliest as to how to deal with things. And yeah, so apart from the plan and the allotment, if the DA and the power of attorney can be approved, this is my suggestion, at least one step forward. At least the terms of the development agreement and the power of attorney can be concluded, then the allotment is something that we can take up with the managing committee later.
सेकंड फ्लोर पे चली गई सबको मालूम है, बोलता भी है सोशल मीडिया बोलता भी है सेकंड फ्लोर पे लॉन्ड्री नहीं चलेगा आपको भी मालूम है, इवन प्रोडक्टिव भी बोल नहीं चलेगा आपको मालूम है। सर मैं क्या बोल सर छोड़ के चला जाऊँ सर, मैं मेरा कुछ ही नहीं कर सकता, मेरा मतलब बिजनेस मेरा चौपट हो जाएगा सर। आप चाहते क्या, आप लोग चाहते क्या मेरा बिजनेस चला जाओ, मैं छोड़ के चला जाऊँ? इसमें एक आदमी ऐसा भी बोला था क्या आप बेच के चला जाओ सर? आप सोचो मेरे दिल से ऐसा कैसा निकलता है समझो आप, मैं ग्राउंड फ्लोर से ऊपर जा ही नहीं सकता सर, ये जा सकता है सर। आप एडजस्ट मेरे को एक आप लोग सबको मालूम है क्या लॉटरी बिजनेस चली नहीं सर। मैं कोई रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ सर, मेरा ग्राउंड फ्लोर में अटैक कर दी, मैं ये रिक्वेस्ट है मेरी। प्रकाश भी ये बोले कि तुम झगड़ा फिरा मत करो, मैं ये कमर ठीक है, मैं कोई झगड़ा नहीं करने आ रहा। मैं प्रकाश जी को बहुत इज्जत करता हूँ, लेकिन उस दिन मेरे से थोड़ा गलती होगा, प्रकाश जी से थोड़ा ऊपर गुस्से में बात हो गया थी वो अलग से सर, मैं नहीं जा सकता सर। ये रिक्वेस्ट है आप लोगों को, आप मेरे को ग्राउंड फ्लोर कर दीजिए प्लीज।
आपका रिक्वेस्ट मैंने सुना and I appreciate your concern. मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि I have to treat all members of a particular class equally. अगर मैं एक मेंबर को फेवर करता हूँ या फेवरिज्म दिखाता हूँ, that it is not fair to the rest of the people on the same class of members. वहाँ पे मेरे हिसाब से 15 दुकान है साइड में, if I'm not mistaken. अगर मैं एक को भी फेवर करता हूँ, मुझे सबको फेवर करना होगा, बिकॉज फिर वो दूसरे बोलेंगे कि इनको आपने दिया तो मुझे क्यों नहीं दिया। इसके लिए I have to treat all of the members of that particular class with equality, and I appreciate your concern that your business is a business which will not run from the higher floor, and I am with you on that. But मेरा सबमिशन इतना ही है कि जितने भी बोथ साइड के मेंबर्स हैं उनको मुझे इक्वली ट्रीट करना होगा। अगर मैं आपको दूंगा तो मुझे सबको नीचे जाना पड़ेगा।
सर मैं बंद करके चला गया।
सर दैट इज समथिंग व्हाट इज अ पर्सनल कॉल, आई एम नो वन टू make a comment on the same. Sir,
आपने छोड़ के ऊपर डाल देगा
sir, from my only submission is that I have to treat all of my members of a particular class equally.
कितना 1 to 14 दिया उसमें भी माइनस हो गया, 11 शॉप हो गए। आपने नंबर ही नहीं आ रहा तो कैसे होगा? मैं भी 20 नंबर हूँ, मैं नहीं जा रहा।
लेकिन सर फर्स्ट से 11 कंसिस्टेंसी क्या है? फर्स्ट से 11
रोड फेसिंग है, देखो रोड फेसिंग हमने ज्यादा पैसे करने हैं। अगर मैं दुकान लूँ 1 नंबर 2 नंबर,
सर अगर मैं साइड फेसिंग
आप बोलोगे कि पैसे चले जाओ ऊपर चले तो फिर मैं जाऊँगा।
नहीं, अगर मैं सर वैसे नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं आपको ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि अगर मैं साइड में या बैक पे मैं टेरेस पे चले जाऊँ, ऐसा है?
साइड में फ्रंट में नहीं है, शॉप में है, अब वो बोलेंगे मेरे को फ्रंट में दुकान
सर वही है ना, वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे।
As a conclusion, this is an argument between the managing committee and the general body. I am not required for the same. My only submission is that you can sit with all of your suggestions. आपके जो members के suggestions हैं, residential, commercial, आपके consultants हैं, आप consultant के साथ बैठे, आप conclusive एक मुझे sheet बना के दीजिए, आपको क्या changes चाहिए, consultant को बोलिए मुझे बता देने का और मैं changes जो भी possible कर दूंगा। Just you have to come to a conclusion at some point of time. आप 2-3 दिन में consultant के साथ बैठ के फिर मुझे आप 2 दिन में बता दीजिए, I will make the changes. If there are no more questions for me, I would like to take your leave. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope to see you all again soon and have a conclusive meeting. Thank you.
Thanks for
plan सब pending है. DA our in principle is fixed. No more corrections sir.
क्या बार-बार वही चीज बात करना है ये कर देखिए तो ये ऐसा होता है कि डेवलपमेंट का मीटिंग कोई डेवलपर है ना बार-बार मीटिंग में आता है कोई डेवलपर अपने सबऑर्डिनेट्स को भेजते हैं मगर ये हर बार है ना आप उनको तारीफ करना चाहिए कि हमेशा कुछ
सर उनकी 1% की गलती नहीं है
मीटिंग अटेंड करते सब करते हैं
ऐसा नहीं हो पर्सनली इट्स नॉट दैट आई नोइंग थ्रू यू आई नो पर्सनली
चीजें ना सॉरी साहब समझने वाली बातें लोगों को समझना चाहिए सब ट्रांसलेट है साइज का सब चीज का तो एटलीस्ट तो थोड़ा
जनरल नोबडी का ट्रांसलेट हो गया व्हाट मैंने वो इंसान
सुरेश भाई का प्रपोजल भी लिखिए इसमें सेकंड वाला जो अपना आइटम है सेकंड है विकास गुप्ता अभी है ना जो ये साइज ऊपर नीचे का कैसे आप डिजाइन करना चाहते हैं क्या दुकान के लोग दुकान के दुकान वही रहेंगे बाकी ऊपर नीचे